I know. 2 weeks, but I'm finally back, finally home, man. Feels good. I'm excited to be back to talk all things comics with you guys. I hope you had a good weekend. I know a lot has happened within 2 weeks, but luckily I've got my brother here backstage it's Hyper. You guys know who it is. I don't need to pretend like we don't know. But yes, he's here to join me tonight to catch up on all that fun stuff. But I was away, guys. Europe is something else. First time ever. I went to Slovakia. I went to Austria. Man, incredible. But Austria, guys, you gotta step up the comic game, man. I went to two comic shops and all I saw were trade paperbacks or Simpsons comics. So basically, unless your name's Newbie Comics, you would have not enjoyed yourself. But like I said, guys, lots to catch up on. Before I bring in the guest, I want to just let you guys in on a little bit of information. So, first and foremost, we have Comic Book Corner who's going to be doing a live sale on their YouTube channel. So, guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, definitely go over to the the YouTube channel, and of course the Facebook channel, Facebook page as well. Follow the Facebook page, show some love because I'm gonna be going live at the end of the month doing a big sale. Now, if you don't know who Comic Book Corner is, Comic Book Corner is the guy that does all the comic pressing, cleaning for myself and many others in Canada. So one of the best in the game, has an absolutely incredible collection. So go show some love. And he does some cool unboxing videos, man. Like literally, I've never seen so many 99s on one channel, bro. I don't know how you get them, but shout out to you. So go show some love to Comic Book Corner. And of course, guys, I know I was away. I was away for 2 weeks, but I'm making up for lost time because check this out. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Catch me with Izzyverse, man. That's right. I'm going to be over on Izzyverse talking some of the trending 20 books that are, trending within the week. And of course, my first time hanging out with this guy, so I'm looking forward to it. And it's an awesome channel. I've been watching and, getting familiar with it. Awesome stuff. So definitely go show some love. And following that, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check this, man. 22 Comics started something called Collecting Uncensored, which is actually really cool concept. Basically giving you an in-depth look at how his guests collect. And this week, myself. So come and see how I'm collecting, why I collect the way I do, and get an insight on my collection. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him, and we come back to home base, baby, because next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time, that's right, Nemesis Prime, guys, one half of the Comic Con podcast, that is him. Yes, he's looking like he's going to sell you a horrible life insurance, but he's going to kill me for showing this picture. So nothing but love to Nemesis. I love you, bro. Looking forward to hanging next week. But tonight's hangs is what it's all about for tonight. So let me bring in my brother, Hyper Combo Comics. What's up, bro?
Nothing much. Dude, I think Nemesis sold a house to my neighbor last week.
Oh, he's
Based on
gone.
that picture, I think it's the same picture on his real estate agent
He's gonna
license.
kill us. He's gonna kill us. But dude, speaking Nemesis, I don't know if you've heard the podcast as of late, man.
I did,
Um,
but I didn't catch up on. I was partly listening to this past Friday. I didn't fully finish it.
he's a busy man, man. The dude, like I traveled, but this guy's been going to like so many big conventions. He was at
Mm-hmm.
the Philly one this weekend, on Free Comic Book Day weekend, and on May the 4th. So happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way, to everybody here. But he's a big Star Wars guy. You wouldn't think he'd be doing such a thing. No, you would picture him in the gym, right? With, practicing on his saber skills, bro.
I don't know. Maybe having an impromptu lightsaber battle, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, Free Comic Book Day. I mentioned that. Now I know, here locally, I hit up many shops. I went to Boîte à BD, who I know is here in the chat. I actually want to shout out Boîte à BD because literally on my way out, I went with my kid. And as I'm leaving Boîte à BD, he looks at everybody in French, right? And he's like, hey, everybody. Like, he stops everybody in the shop. He's like, this guy has a YouTube channel. He's amazing. You should go check him out. I'm like, no, it's not true. And I just walked away. But yeah, shout out to him
Wow,
for putting me on the spot.
that's dope. That's dope. It's unfortunate that their first episode they're gonna see is with me as your guest. So we'll see how many of those retain for next week.
Yeah, no, of course. They're blessed to see you. But yeah, man, I hit up Watabe Day. I hit up Comic Hunter. I hit up A Million Comics. Of course, Comic Legion came up clutch. So did Comic Nation with many. Dude, they offered FOCing 4 new free comic book day books, which not many places did do. But yeah, man. So pretty successful. A lot of good sales, man. Boîte Day had some good books available. They were even giving out some cool stickers from like CGC and stuff. Like there was this 10
I saw that on your post. I was like wondering, is this guy cracking slabs all of a sudden? Like,
no,
what's
man,
happening?
no, man. It was really cool. So shout out to them. There were plenty of sales here locally. A lot of 50% off the back bin
Mhm.
issues. So I know you hunted. You also went to shows throughout the weekend.
Yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to. I think 2 out of the 3 shops you mentioned, I actually went to. I was unable to go to Boîte because it wasn't really in my route. I ended up going to this uh, con. I guess it's a collector con in Kanawake, which is like an Indian reserve
Hmm.
outside of Quebec. It was all right. I mean, it was more for toy collecting, and they had some comic vendors. But as a first time visit, it was a decent show. But it's funny because I went to 1 Million Comics, and you went there too. And while I was at the cash, you know, the brothers, they recognize us, right? I'll definitely be there, Jean. Definitely.
Yeah, you got to show
Have to
some love.
I'm definitely gonna have to pay a visit. But he's like, at the cash, he's like, yeah, your buddy, who you do your YouTube with, just came by. I'm like, who, Orlando? He's like, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're making the rounds, man. You're making the rounds.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually walked in and when I was paying at the cash with my kid, he's there. He's like, "Are you still doing YouTube with Hyper?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, that was such a
yeah."
hesitation.
I felt like he was looking at us like, "Is this still a thing?" I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure, I do it." I'm like, he's actually hopping on Sunday, so hopefully he has the opportunity to catch this show. But shout out to Million Comics, of course. But yeah, man. So you did some hunting. I saw some of your pickups you posted. As always, dude, you found a Super Mario #1 for like
I
what?
was surprised. So the thing is, I was surprised because they put it right at the front, like where they put the new wall books that they're gonna sort. I got in like 2-3 hours late because I had other stuff. So I was surprised that no one else picked up. I mean, it is a mid to lower grade, but dude, 27 bucks Canadian for Super Mario Brothers. I'm taking that. And you saw how it looked
Yeah,
on the photo, so
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
nuts.
surprised that no one else grabbed it.
Yeah, you were there when I had to drop some heavy coin on mine. So let's not just talk about that for a
I remember
second.
how much. I'm not gonna say, but I remember how much you paid for your. But look, look. In fairness, you did have a much. Your copy is a lot higher grade than mine. So
Yeah, no, for sure. It's there.
yeah,
It is. There it is. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
proud of it. I'm proud of it. But yeah, you picked up some cool stuff. I did as well, man. I'm not gonna start showing everybody the books, but free comic book day. I hope everybody had a great free comic book day. It was awesome, man. It's like Christmas for us nerds every year, right? Like it was insane hitting every shop. My kid loves it. Like every shop. What's awesome is every shop we hit, he'll leave with a comic, right? So like let's say this year there was
That's
the
dope.
the Encanto one. He bought a Sonic comic because he's obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog. And when I look
Nice.
over in the back seat while I'm driving, his face is in the book. He's reading the books. Maybe he's not reading properly, but he's reading and he's enjoying it.
And that's what it's supposed to be, right? Like, I mean, like
Yeah,
us older correct collectors, like we've been in the game for a while, but free comic book day, I feel it's more for the newer audiences, kids and all that want to get into the hobby. This is a great entry point. That's why I'm glad that shops do the limit of like one per customer so that
yeah,
the new collectors can actually grab the issues that they want. Because last thing you want is like the kid behind you basically getting heartbroken because you grabbed all the One Piece
yeah,
issues from the table.
yeah,
So I think it's a good thing, and I'm glad that shops are still doing free. I know some shops opted out because they didn't feel it was generating the buzz at their shops like it
yeah.
used to. But I'm glad that there are still shops participating.
For sure. On Friday, I was actually over on Cover Price's YouTube channel covering the free comic book day books that are going to be coming out, for Saturday, yesterday. And that was one of the main things we kept saying, like don't forget what this is about. Don't stack up on those Encantos just by yourself, man, right? Like if you see a kid, give the kid the Encanto. Don't fight these kids, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But all right, man. So, hype, feels good to have you back. It feels good to be back. And I can see a lot of people here in the chat. So, I definitely want to give a quick shout out to them. So, let's say hi. We got Love for Comics. That's what's up, baby. Love for Comics. Yes, he was actually there for the show with Cover Price. And his final question of the show was, BC, are you back on Sunday? Yes, I'm back. Here we are. So, happy to see you here. And of course, Michael Baker, guys. Baker Shakers tonight are heavy again. That's right. We're doing FOC, we're doing Hot Topics, but the market report, man, Michael Baker made up for that lost time. I think he gave me like 20 books to pick from. He's like, dude, here's 20 books and
There's a
figure
lot
it
of
out.
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But Derek's in the house, man. Derek, yeah, baby, rock your body. I know exactly what song you're talking about. Come on, hype. You gonna sing it? No, you're not singing it for me.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no.
Well, I'm not gonna do the lyrics because
Okay, drop a beat. Drop a beat. Drop a beat. Pacino's in the house. Pacino, man. Yes, I know you didn't get much time to go out for free comic book day. You got a newborn, but you bring the newborn to the cash and be like, hey, books for the newborn.
Hey, you could have got some free comics out of that because I know that certain shops are giving extra comics if you brought a kid, so he could have
Yeah,
used that to his advantage.
of course, of course, and of course we got AOA in the house, man. AOA, appreciate you being here, always showing some love to everybody who's here in the chat. You know, dropping links of where you can find them. So definitely check out all the links AOA is dropping. And AOA, thank you so much for coming to hang out tonight. Who else we got here? We got Gear Up. I was just talking about Gear Up. That is Comic Book Corner. So definitely go subscribe to the channel. Big sale at the end of this
One of the
month.
best in the business.
Yeah, dude, doesn't get better. And then we got Steph's Comics. Yeah, cause of the rock and roll, baby. Steph, I hope you had a good free comic book day. I didn't see you at any stores. I really thought I was going to catch you at like a million comics or something, but didn't get to see him. I'm still waiting on those Binulatis, by the way. We got Lefteros in the house. Yes, we're going to go through some of Lefteros' FOC picks of the week. But guys, if you have a chance, don't forget, yes, check out Comic Nation, but start keeping an eye out, especially if you're in Canada, for Comic Legion. Go check out Comic Legion on Facebook. Big things coming for Comic Legion. Can't stress it enough.
His post actually educated me on some of the free comic book day issues I should be looking out for. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on Lefteros's posts when he drops them on IG.
Agreed. But then we've got Boata Bede, like I said, man. It was so nice to see him. It was a short period of time. I didn't stay long. Dude, the place was jam-packed. You've been to Boata Bede, right? Like, it was
Yeah, man.
full.
And John's is a great dude. He's on. Honestly, I'm not surprised that he shouted you out at his sort of story.
Yeah,
Great dude,
dude.
and I'm not surprised that his shop has been around for what is it, 3 decades?
Yeah, dude. It's 30
Yeah,
years. 30
30
years
years
are
exactly.
around.
Yeah. So
Big milestone. When he told me, when he screamed in front of everybody, like, this guy has a YouTube channel, I was going to be like, hey, guys, Jean has a YouTube channel. Go watch him. But I appreciate you, Jean. North 49's in the house. Yes, North 40. Yeah, then Mrs. Prime.
yeah.
Best picture. He's gonna kill me, guys. I'll put it up again, but he's gonna
He
roast
looks
me.
like he's charged for tax evasion actually. But
Of course. And then we've got Nick in the house. Yes, happy Greek Easter. You guys just passed Easter. I imagine you are stuffed on lamb, probably some baklava, whatever it is that you may have had. But yeah, save me some peace. I told you, I just want lamb. Yes, free comic book day is my jam every year. That's dude, it's Christmas time for us. That's my Christmas. So there you go. You got Matthew Cabral in the house. Yes, the One Piece, great book. A lot of dude, I saw a lot of copies getting snatched up right in front of me, man. Everybody was grabbing those One Pieces.
yeah,
Some shops had them stamped. Boatabede, I know, had them stamped. Some didn't. I know there's some people who dig that, don't dig that. Continue.
dude, I don't know if you caught this, but there was one comic that I didn't think that would get traction. Well, at least what I was hearing, like in the background, people are really trying to go after that Popeyes book. I mean, I got at least 1 or 2 copies, but I was surprised at the number of people that were asking, the store owner is, hey, do you have a Popeyes?
Yeah, man,
So,
dude. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because yes, over on Cover Price, shout out to Cover Price, of course, Matt, and I had the opportunity to hang out with also Jen from Nearing Nirvana over on the channel. So very nice to hang out with them. And yeah, man, Bobby was there too. Great time. But we spoke about that book, and I was like, wow, it's true. You know, now they're pretty much bringing Popeyes into today's time with it way different than it was before, and we're getting somewhat of an origin story now, right? Like, I guess slightly changed, whatever it was.
yeah, it's supposed to be more for like our age, right? I guess.
I'm assuming I haven't
Yeah,
had the opportunity to read it yet, but I did pick it up just like you did,
yeah.
and I picked up. I know Matt is still Matt. If you're still watching, dude, he put me on the Ultra Duck. I don't know if you saw that one.
I picked that up too, just based on the cover, but I don't
Oh,
even know what it is.
yeah. So now I'm like all in on this stuff. Like he showed everybody over on the show Friday. There's a J. Scott Campbell cover that came out for Free Comic Book Day France a few years ago.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So this now that I know this, I absolutely need it. I absolutely need it. So yeah, shout out to Cover Price, and of course we've got Audi in the house. Audi, appreciate you swinging by to hang out with myself and Hyper. Of course, big shout out to Shop as well, Shop for Comics. Guys, if you're not already following Shop for Comics, please do over on Instagram. He's putting out some great content, great artwork. I love the stuff that he puts out. Cliff, I love you too, bro. So happy that you're here. I was hoping that I thought we were supposed to get together. The Friday that just passed. Yeah, we were supposed to link up on a show, but I didn't hear back, so I let it be. So Cliff, anytime you want to link up and put a show together, always available. Always available. Oh, dude, it's a pleasure. No need for thanks. Gear up. You're killing it. Yeah. I'm catching up. I know what you were laughing at. Steps for Comics saying Vignettes are coming soon. I actually missed out on Comic Book Day. There you go. So
shoot.
I was going through cards. I got back from PSA. Hey, at least you got that. That feels like Christmas as well, right? Especially when you get these submissions back. Derek's in the house, man. What's going on? Derek, appreciate you being here, bro. All right. I think we got everybody. Let's get to the show because there's a lot to discuss. Of course, like I said, we're going to kick it off with the FOC picks of the week. Now, Hyper, like I do every week, except last week and the one before. I know. Give me some slack. Cut me some slack. Hype, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, guys, it's the FOC picks of the week for May 6th. Now, of course, guys, support Left Arrows. Go visit Comic Nation. Get your FOC orders in. You get 15% off of the cover price as we are right now. But if you want, you can get an extra 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. So go visit comicnation.us, and we're going to go through some of the picks of the week. So make of this whatever you will. I'm not telling you to buy every book. Of course, we're just putting you in the know before you go, like cover price says, right? So let's get to it. First book, Blood Hunters #2. This is the main cover. Solicitation states there will be an introduction of a new vampire hunter. Now, I didn't pick up #1. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this kind of bothers me because I'm a completionist. I am. I picked up Blood Hunt, but I didn't pick up Blood Hunters. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I was actually thinking, yeah. So this is a tie-in.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm clearly not in like. I mean, I know of this event that's ongoing right now. I'm probably gonna be in the minority that's gonna actually wait until the whole story finishes before reading it. So I mean, it's getting a lot of buzz, and I know that Comic-Con podcast. I know they had good things to say about issue 1 of Blood Hunt.
Dude, it was so good. Now, I read the regular one and I read the Red Band.
The Red Band, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. The Red Band, not because like, oh my God, I like gory stuff or whatever. No, it just had way more of an impact. Like when you saw things take place, you're like, holy cow, like this has way more weight to it. I read both. The regular one's fine. Yeah. Regular one's fine. But the Red Band just takes it to another level. I highly recommend it. Of course, if you're old enough to read that. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. Now, just want to give a quick shout out because Uncanny Swag is here from Spinetix. Spinetix about to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, guys. That's huge stuff. Shout out to Spinetix. I mean, at 100,000, I'd imagine everybody here is pretty much subscribed to them. But if you're not, get them to 100,000. Go subscribe, show some love. Swag, appreciate you being here. And of course, we've got Palace Comics in the house. So Palace, appreciate you as well. Now, we're going to move on from... Oh, hold on. Guys, give Palace Comics follow on Instagram. Always dropping great info. Yes, trending incentives. Awesome stuff. Chia Pet's in the house. Chia, what's going on? Yeah, Story Suit Red Band. 100%. I agree 1,000%.
I've heard that from several people, how the Red Band is the way to go.
Yeah, it is. But... what if Venom #4, this is the main cover, and it is what if Moon Knight bonded with the Venom symbiote? So we knew this was coming, right? We've said it pretty much gave you an idea of all the characters we're going to see bond with the symbiote. Now, I've been enjoying them. They're fun reads. Nothing, oh my God, crazy. But yeah, I think this is a neat book. I like the cover a lot for this one.
I mean, it's the cover actually, when you showed me the slides, the cover is what actually caught my attention right away. So it's a interesting concept. I'm surprised no one thought of this before about Moon Knight, being bonded with Venom. So yeah, cool concept. And look, the art's done by our savior. So
yes, of course. But yeah, man, remember the whole Venomized stuff? how that took off, and
Yeah.
then we had Funko Pops and
Hmm.
all that. I don't recall if there was ever a Venomized Moon Knight. I didn't see
I
any.
don't think so either. That's why I'm kind of surprised that we're only getting this right now. I'm surprised no one really jumped on this kind of combination before.
Yep. But let's move on. Before we do, just want to give a quick shout out because we have comic. Oh, hold on. We've got Comics Corner in the house. Comics Corner. Appreciate you swinging by to hang out with myself and Hyper. Um, Left Arrow saying exactly what Moon Knight needed. Another persona. Yeah. He's at what now? Like 14. But all right, moving on. We've got X-Men 35, which is a milestone issue because this is pretty much issue 700. Now, I don't know if you've seen the amount of covers available, but there's definitely way more characters on this cover than there are covers. This is insane madness right here. You've got
Yeah.
two sides to this. It's, a wraparound, plenty of covers. There was one one character. I zoomed in. I'm like, wait, is that Raiden? I literally thought it was Raiden. I don't know why.
Who
Uh,
was it?
I don't remember. I gotta find it. But um, X-Men 35. This is the published variant. I think it's beautiful. I ordered a few copies. I sorry, no, I ordered two copies because obviously you gotta. It's like Hyper with his connecting cover.
Connecting. Yeah, yeah. I feel you on that. That's how they get you. They
Yeah.
they won't do it for subsequent issues. They do it on the same issue, so you have to double dip.
Yep. But I don't know if you saw the. There was also another variant that's awesome. It's was it the House of X variant? Like how they're coming through.
Oh, the portal, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
after on this one, because it's issue 700, and we're pretty much getting some new stuff moving forward. They're
Mhm.
walking back into it with their backs
Oh, okay.
towards you. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
I
cool.
got it. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I kind of fell off the current X-Men title, but I'll probably at least grab this one because I am an X-Men fan in general. Just haven't been reading the newer stuff, but I do like the fact that this has literally. I think they mentioned almost every X-Men character to date. That's what I heard. So to see that many characters squeezed into one cover, yeah, I'd be down to pick it up. I don't know if I'm going to pick up two to do the connecting, but I'll at least grab one.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And of course, what Lefteros is saying, guys, yes, cover price is going to be a lot more active on YouTube. So definitely go subscribe to the channel. But yeah, moving on from this, we have Harley Quinn issue number 40. Now, this is just an awesome cover by Lyrics Lee. I love it. I love it. I actually pre ordered it. I did. I think it's neat. Cover by. This is total cover by the way.
I think that's been a story mainly with Harley series. At least these last few Harley issues has generally been like a push towards like. Sorry,
Bless you, sir.
sneeze on air. But yeah, it seems like
Gesundheit.
the cover's been really selling these issues as of late, and this is no exception. At least this is not a ratio.
Yeah.
So I know those
But
1 in 50s lately have been popping off for the series lately.
oh, dude, it's absolutely insane. But not just Harley Quinn. I find Poison Ivy had the same going, and I enjoyed Poison Ivy out the gate. I was reading it. I was enjoying it. I fell off, but yeah, man, the cover is by what's her name, Sozo,
So
Sozo
Micah,
Micah.
it's
Insane.
it seems like all three characters from the Gotham City Sirens, their series generally get pushed. Like the covers are usually sold like Catwoman, Harley, Poison Ivy, like those three from the Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if people are actually buying it for the story or more for the art, cover art, which is not. Listen, I'm not knocking it because I've bought books purely on cover art
Yeah.
myself. So I'm just curious if that's the general traction with these series.
Yep. Agreed, man. And I agree with Lefteros, man. One of the things when I was ordering this on Previous World that I noticed was the costume. I'm like, yeah, I love the fact to see the vintage costume. So total cover grab.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we move on, Linman's in the house. Oh, I like the little Moon Man icon. This is pretty cool, man. So appreciate you swinging by. I'm definitely buying for the covers. There you go. So,
Yeah.
but all right. I think this is a big one this week, guys. You might think I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm not pro Disney or anything, but do take into consideration Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime #1. This cover is an Alex Ross cover already. I'm a fan, but this is the first ever Marvel and Disney comic book. Now, what you're probably thinking is, hold on. We've had Disney products printed under Marvel before, yes, but it looks like this is going to be, an ongoing actual Marvel comic where they're going to write a Disney character. So It's not a movie adaptation. It's none of that. We're getting an actual story. Will it tie into anything Marvel related? Will we see, Uncle Scrooge come across Spider-Man, Peter Parker? Who knows? But there's so many awesome covers when it comes to this. The story is written by Jason Aaron, which gives me a lot of confidence
Yeah,
behind it. And like I said, so many cool covers, but one that I absolutely love, not because it's Alex Ross again, but the 1 in 10 incentive is just so good. And it is already selling at approximately 30 to 35 Canadian over on eBay. So some people getting those orders in pretty early. Maybe they're paying a premium, or who knows? Let's see when
that's
this comes
insane.
out,
I
right?
mean, that's insane considering it hasn't even passed FOC yet, and it's already triple ratio. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, if you have a shop that you have a good relationship with, I'm sure that if you tell them that you want to grab a couple of regular covers, I'm sure that they could help you out with that 1 in 10. So before jumping, I mean, it's kind of late now because FOC is literally gonna pass
Yeah.
tonight.
Tomorrow, no, tomorrow morning,
Oh,
well,
okay,
tomorrow afternoon for, well, yeah,
yeah,
for FOC. But one thing I do want to mention, and yes, Gear Up brings it up, is that it's $8 a copy. That's
that's
the
true.
cover price. So it's seven
Yeah.
ninety nine US. So it does hurt, man. It does hurt. And yes,
Mhm.
there's the 1 in 50 that is gorgeous. The 1 in 100 is a Pepe Larraz, if I'm not mistaken. So will we see those 1 in 100, so many of them? I don't think so, guys. I don't think we're going to see so many 1 in 50s. I don't imagine shops ordering 50 copies of this book.
Hold on, let me ask you this: was there exclusives done for this issue?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't seen anything. When I was checking on League of Comic Geeks earlier in the week, I didn't see anything for exclusives. I hope not, because if there's exclusives, then that changes the game
That's the
for
thing.
sure.
I was gonna say, like, if there's actually exclusives coming out for this, that kind of really bumps up the number of those higher ratios that you'll probably see floating around.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna pop open League of Comics and retailer exclusives. Well, there's event exclusives. So there's San Diego Comic Con 2024 Pepe Larraz. There's
Mm.
D23 Expo, which is done by Mirka and Dolfo. And then there's one retailer exclusive, which I believe belongs to Scotty Young himself. It's the Scotty Young cover, which I
On his website,
absolutely
I'm
love.
guessing.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
on his website and it's the Virgin. So
Hmm.
besides that, there's not much. So, like I said,
Right.
I don't imagine shops ordering 50 copies to 100 copies of this at $7.99 a pop.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Of course, the bigger stores, right? We'll say Midtown, we'll say like Torpedo or whatever it may be. Like many other ones are probably going to order big. But yeah, so if you do have the opportunity, it might be a good idea to pick it up on the low end. Of course, nothing too crazy.
No, I'm probably gonna grab a copy because I am a Disney homer, and I'm glad that my issue with the previous Disney covers, like those tribute covers that they're doing, is that was it. It was just the covers. But I'm actually glad that we're actually getting an actual interior story
Yeah.
with Scrooge. So I'll probably pick up at least cover A.
Uh, Budge, by the way, shout out for being here. I hope that's not the case, man. I don't want to see any exclusives for this one. Dude, there's so many covers already. It's
Yeah.
enough. Like, just stop there. But anyways, I think this is a big one for the week, but it's not the biggest one. I think we might see some bigger ones. Hang tight. So
Mm.
cover grabs this week, man. Scotty Young. We just spoke Scotty Young. There's quite a few Scotty Youngs. Now, of course, this is tied into the big Marvels thing that's coming out by Scotty Young. You guys heard about that. Now we have Carnage, we've got Ghost Rider, we have X-Men with Cyclops, and we've got Venom, we've got Wolverine, and we've got the Amazing Spider-Man. I think my least favorite, surprisingly, is actually Venom. I hate I don't like the way he draws Venom as his character,
I
right?
dig it. I dig it only because he also takes up pretty much most of the cover as opposed to there's not as much white space. I'm always a fan when most of the cover gets used up and there's not too much unused space. So that's for that reason I like the Venom.
Fair. For the rest, though, I kind of feel like we've seen this before. That's the
Mm,
only thing. Like, I think together it looks wonderful. When you see
yeah.
them all together, it looks wonderful, but individually, it's kind of like meh, whatever. So, yeah, cover grabs this week. I'm grabbing 2 out of the 6. So the ones I went for was the Spidey, because I'm a Spidey guy. Yes, I know. Roast me all you want, and I actually went with the Wolverine because I like it. So
Honestly, I think like if you're a Scotty collector, like we've seen this happen with the Alex Ross timeless variants. I think if you're trying to grab the set and all this, I would pre-order early because we've seen how with the Alex Ross timeless when people try to do it like one at a time and then they try to chase after the missing ones,
Yeah.
sometimes it gets tough to find after. So if you really want the set, I would definitely pre-order
Yeah.
all the covers if you can.
Yeah. Colin Comics, man. First time seeing you here, so welcome to the channel. Appreciate you swinging by. And of course, yeah, super cuddly Venom. Doesn't it look like that? Like it's this. That's not Venom. It's not Venom. He's nice and plump. Nice and plump. But yeah, man. So cool Scotty Young covers. Scotty Young fans, you're spoiled this week, that's for sure. So let's move on from this because we've got Ultimate Spider-Man 2. This is the 4th printing, man. And look, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have. No, I don't have them next to me. But I picked up several copies of the Ultimate Spider-Man 1 5th print with the black border. It looks so good. It's just awesome, man.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Chicharro covers are just great in general. I think Chicharro is probably one of the best to draw Spider-Man in a long time. But this book has the first full in-story appearance of Earth 6160 Spider-Man and the first appearance of Earth 6160 Shocker. So we've seen how these books did on the secondary market on the first time around, the second time around. I don't think there's any incentive tied to this one. Not to my knowledge. So
I don't think
kind of a plus.
I don't recall. At least, yeah, I haven't seen anything advertised on my end.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, I did actually pick up issue 4 this week. During the free comic book day promo, so I have all the issues up to date of Ultimate Spider-Man. Now I'm just gonna have to read all of them. I did start issue 1. So look, the people are clearly on board with this train, so it's still not too late to hop on. It's only 4 issues deep, so even if you have to, settle for like the later printings because you can't get the first one, at least for the story, it's still a good hopping on point.
Gee, I think that's a fair question for 4th print for an issue 2. When's the last time that happened?
True.
I can't think off the top of my head. But moving on from this, we've got Blood Hunt. This is the Red Band edition, issue number 3, 1 in 25. Incentive, Fantastic Four Bloody Homage variant depiction by Carlos Magno. Dude, all these homage covers have been great. I really liked the issue 1 with Thor's head on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I think these are great. Secondary market, they did pretty well. I would say they're already starting to come back down. So yeah, if you're into this, I think this is a good pickup.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if all these incentive variants are going to be more like the pre-code horror kind of type of vibe that they're going to, put out, because that's what they've been doing so far. So yeah, it's definitely a cool homage that we don't see that often.
Leftero saying that the regular edition cover orders don't count towards this incentive, which is true. You have to get, you have to get that.
Right. Okay.
Very fair answer to Chia Pet, but I was just thinking Marvel. I wasn't thinking anything else. Energon Universe is on a whole other level when it comes to later prints. My God, and they get me every time, bro. Even the Void Rivals, I'm like, fuck.
Are they really at 8 printings?
Yeah, dude, they're flying, man. They're I think they hit the 8th print not too long ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Baker's saying easy now. Every printing is a gem. Yeah, I agree, man. I couldn't agree more. Good point, guys. The Energon books, yeah. But all right, let's move on from this because we've got Spectacular Spider-Man number 2. This is a 1 in 25 incentive. Now, nothing crazy about this. It's just an awesome Ramos cover. Virgin, of course. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, Miles Morales fan, you might enjoy this cover. Great cover to get signed as well. So not much more to it. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to it.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, nothing to write home about. It's a cool cover, but yeah, not gonna turn any heads in my opinion. But it's just it's a neat. I do like the sunlight lighting in the background.
Yeah,
that's hitting Spider-Man and Miles.
Yeah, it's beaming off of the windows. But
and I do like the old school logo on this back.
Yes,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. You need that. You need that. But let's move on because we've got Star Wars Darth Maul Black, White, and Red number 1, the 1 in 25 incentive. Dude, this is a killer cover, in my opinion.
Now here's a question. For these black, white, and reds, they use the regular Marvel stock paper, right? It's not going to be like some cardstock.
Yeah, I think it's the regular
This is where you really got to be careful. If you're gonna grab this one, I mean, if you have a chance to actually see it at your shop before picking it up, because this is gonna be one of those that's gonna be prone to those ticks kind of covers.
Cliff, I totally forgot about that funeral Wonder Woman you were talking about, man. But yeah, there was an incentive for Wonder Woman that just looked horrible.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, but no, dude, this cover here, man, like you said, because of the factor, the paper quality and so forth, definitely got to be cautious. But I would totally get this signed by Ray Park if it was a high, contender. Dude, this is a killer cover, killer
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on because we've got Ultimate Black Panther number 3.
Oof.
This is the 1 in 25 incentive. Boss Logic cover. Now, again, no speculation or anything. It's just a beautiful cover. I think this is just gorgeous. Boss Logic killed it. He's been killing it on all covers so far.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this cover you can only get it as an incentive. I mean, I kind of wish even a trade dress
There was
version.
a trade. There was a
Oh,
trade
there was a trade
on the first print
of this exact cover.
of this exact cover, sir.
Wait, no. The boss logic on the first. Of number 3. Okay, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of number 1. Okay. In that case, fine. But yeah, this is a damn. Even like yeah. Virgin might be the way to go, honestly, for this kind of cover. I don't know if I personally would do the 1 in 25, but this is the kind of cover that does look better as a Virgin.
Yeah.
Than with the trade dress.
I love it. But hype. We need to talk what's possibly the sneaker of the week, bro. This is a sleeper for sure because TMNT Usagi Yojimbo Saturday Morning Adventures number 1. This is awesome, dude. This is the 1 in 50 incentive. I love the cover. Now I'm not too familiar with Stan Sakai. I don't know if you are, but
yeah. Well, Stan Sakai is he's the creator of Usagi Yojimbo, so that's why this cover is that much more special because it's a one shot, by the way. So he doesn't actually do any of the covers except for this 1 in 50. So to get a Stan Sakai cover, and there are people that are, it's like TMNT. There are Usagi Yojimbo fans and Stan Sakai fans. They're probably gonna go after this cover. And to my knowledge, there's no exclusive done for this particular one shot. And I've already kind of put it this way. I went to one of my shops to ask for the 1 in 50. As soon as I told him it's a Usagi title, he already kind of pulled back because he didn't want to do 50 copies of this issue. He said, listen, I can do 1 in 25 for you. I'm like, look, I'll make up the difference to get that 1 in 50. So I actually worked it out with my shop to push for that 1 in 50. So hopefully the order goes through and I will get the cover. But dude, these covers at Ratio already sold out online. I actually tried to find one, couldn't find it. And the only ones that they're selling are like double or triple Ratio at this point. So, and I did see one sell on eBay, I think, for 4 times the Ratio Canadian.
So I'll give you guys a quick little example of what it's looking like on the secondary market already for this one. You've got already one sale that took place. It's at 191 Canadian dollars. You see it right there.
Yeah.
And there's only one other listing for it at $204 Canadian. So I imagine this is probably going to be a sleeper. Not many shops, like I said, kind of like the Uncle Scrooge one, where we're not going to see 100, 1 in 100 so often out there on the secondary market. This 1 in 50, I think, is going to be a ghost. So if you have the opportunity right now, or you have the cash flow to order 50 copies and make sure you get yourself a 1 in 50, not a bad idea. But yeah.
And the thing is, the reaction my shop had is probably the reaction that most shops are going to have when they come across a title like this, because unless you're like a Midtown Comics or one of those bigger shops, not a lot of shops are going to have faith that 50 copies of this is worth their while. So that's why for these kind of like ratios and all that, you definitely have to ask your shop ahead of time that they actually put in the orders.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. But Hawk is in the house, man. Hawk, yes. Happy Cinco de Mayo, brother. I wish you all the best, man. Hope you had a great free comic book day weekend. Guys, if you're not subbed to Hawk over on YouTube, go show some love, man. Go check out some of his awesome content. But yeah, man. So guys, that was the FOC picks of the week by Lefteros. And of course, you can support Lefteros by following Comic Nation over on Instagram and go visit the website. It's www.comicnation.us. Get your FOC orders in. They have 15% off of the cover price right now. And you can get yourself an additional 5% by using Black Crown as the discount code, which will total your discount to 20% off. And you could ship at any time you like. You could hold it, keep a hold box going whatever you like. And of course, guys, Cover Price, best comic book price guide around, one of my favorites. And of course, like I said, they also have a YouTube channel that is ongoing right now. They kicked it off. Yeah, it's been in existence for a little while, but they've not been active. Now they are. So
Nice.
keep an eye out for all of their awesome content. Hype! We made it through the FOC, but it's time for my favorite part
Mine
of the
too.
show. Is it? Is it?
It is. It is.
There
It
it is.
is.
There it is. All right.
If
Well,
you kept the same order, then it is.
exactly. Okay. So let's get into it. FOC is done. We're getting to the market report for this weekend. Guys, like I said, it's a heavy Baker Shaker this week. So, Hype, again, are you ready?
Definitely ready. Definitely ready.
Vamonos! All right, market report where, I look at CBSI's list, Cover Price, eBay, Go Collect, Key Collector, you name it. But of course, we got to give a big shout out to Michael Baker because he brings forth the Baker Shaker every week. That's right, hits me up in the DMs and brings awareness to many big sales that take place within the week. So let's kick it off with the first one being Spider-Woman number 7. This one came in at number 1 on CBSI. Now, if you're following Lefteros over on Instagram, he kind of gave us a warning about this. He also let us know at FOC. He let us know days before New Comic Book Day. Cover Price did the same. I did the same over on the FOC segment when it came time to talk about this book, and it did come true. First team appearance of the Assembly. You have Titan, Liberty, Cadet Marvel, Moonsquire, and Hellrune. We saw a lot of people also going to, pick up those first cover appearances that we saw before. A lot of those new champions we got, right? So raw copies selling at about 27 Canadian dollars over on eBay this week. Lots of copy moves. Lots of copies moved. What did I just say? Yeah, lots of copies moved.
I think you just repeated yourself twice.
I
I thought you were actually gonna do like a diss track or something.
You want
on
no
this
no
book.
that's Kendrick Lamar and Drake territory. It's not our territory. But yeah, man, dude, a lot of copies moved. There was also the Todd Knock cover that moved as well. But of course, cover A seeing a lot of action. So 27 Canadian dollars, pretty impressive for a book that just dropped.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember you talking about this, but honestly, I am still surprised at the raw prices that this book is currently commanding. It's just I guess for me the question is the like will it sustain, because we've seen like group appearances done before, like Tiger Division comes to mind, and what was the other one with Captain America, the Daughters of Liberty.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of factions that have been created that did cause a bit of an uptick on the book, but put it this way, in my opinion, if you missed out on this book and you want to grab it, I would say be patient.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think patience is key, but the characters are pretty interesting. Now, we do see them as a first team appearance here as the Assembly, but the characters, like, I enjoy Titan. I think Titan's pretty cool. Liberty's awesome. Like, I think out of all the characters, Liberty probably has the most potential, but there's interesting characters here, so who knows? Well, like you said, longevity is the question when it comes to such characters. Speaking longevity, Infamous Jeb. Yeah. Now this guy is a machine, bro. Machine. That's why longevity. Jeb, I hope he lives to be 1,000 years old, because
I was wondering where you were going with that. Like when you said speaking of longevity, and then you brought in, I was like, where's this going?
We need this man around for 1,000 years because he's one of the best when it comes to spec game, man. He's always sharing so much information. Definitely go show some love to him over on Instagram. And we have also K-pop junkie Katie's in the house. Nothing but love for Katie, guys. She was just live over on her channel. Go subscribe to her awesome channel. She's always putting out some awesome content. But let's get to the next book, Hyper, because we've got Marvel Team Up issue 14. Now, it's not the first time we've seen this book. We've seen it several times. It came in at number 6 on cover price, and of course, this is a crossover featuring Invincible in the Marvel Universe, where he pretty much gets knocked into the universe. CGC 98 sold for $775 US, and it's no surprise, man, because not too long ago, I mean, did you watch the last season of Invincible? You saw?
I got to catch up, but
okay. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, sir,
sorry.
but there's something very similar to this, is what I'm going to say.
But I did hear that, though. I did hear that.
Okay, so then I'm not spoiling it for you.
Yeah.
Why'd you gotta make me feel bad for a second?
Well, I mean, that's what friends do.
Yes, but it's an awesome book if you're an Invincible fan, a Spidey fan. I think this is a great book to have within your collection. And like I said, it's no surprise that this one's resurfacing at the moment.
I'm just like, I don't know, maybe someone in the chat would know. Has it ever reached that high in terms of a 9.8?
Um, I, I could check. Well, I could check right now.
Is that? I mean, yeah, like to your point, I've seen this a few times at shops, and it's always a pricey book. But I didn't realize that a 9.8 goes for almost eight bills.
Yeah,
But yeah,
U.S.
that's in
You know
U.S.
how
Yeah, so technically that's over a grand for us. Yeah,
yeah you know how that feels Canadian.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
Trev's in the house. Yo, Trev, shipping guru. Appreciate you being here, Trev. You're about to go live at 10 p.m. Eastern time with Evil Mike, so go show some love to them as well immediately after the show, and definitely subscribe to his channel. But yeah, dude, this is pretty up there. Yeah, geez.
yeah, it's definitely look. It's a cool crossover, and it's one of those crossovers that people it can only dream of. So definitely a good book to have in the PC. Whether even if the price goes down or not, it's still a cool book that I wouldn't mind having in the PC if I can find it at a decent price.
Dude, you're one of the best hunters I know when it comes to finding crazy books. So, that being said, I imagine we'll come across a few in just a moment that you probably have within your collection. So let's get
Phew.
to the next one. We have Cheval Noir. Oh yeah, Cheval
Oui,
Noir.
oui.
Dave Stevens cover, baby. Yeah, number 11 on cover price. Dude, Dave Stevens covers have been all over the place. People are buying these up like crazy. CGC 9.8 sold for 1,200 US dollars. It is a neat cover. I'm not gonna lie, man.
It's kind of an interesting phenomenon with Dave Stevens covers as of late. Like not just this, but like there's been a lot of Stevens covers that's been on a resurgence. I'm just wondering what caused this whole spike in Stevens books in general, because these have been around for a while. And B, how long is this going to last? Is this one of those? Is this going to be a bubble? That's my question about these. Because look, no denying he's a great artist. I guess I'm just wondering what is causing all the love for Dave Stevens, because he's been around the game for a few decades now. Oh, the
Yeah,
documentary. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So that.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I know that recently there was the documentary, and ever since the documentary, a lot of things Dave Stevens related has just been popping off. So
Yeah, it's just because like there is one book that you're gonna that I know you're gonna mention, but it's I remember seeing that like a few years ago and I picked it up. So it's just it's just fascinating to me about how all these books have really exponentially gone up in price.
yeah, dude, it's awesome, man. Like, there's a lot of great Dave Stevens covers, and
Mhm.
it's interesting because I would say that majority of people were not too familiar, right, since the documentary, and then documentary hits, a lot of people start flocking towards his covers and
Yeah.
so forth, and like I don't think Cheval Noir was ever on anyone's radar, right? Like if you were to rewind 3 years ago, would you be looking at this? No. Even weeks ago, I think some people would just probably have skipped over it. Majority,
No,
like,
I mean, if I saw the cover, it would catch my eye for sure. But it's
oh,
not
I,
like
I
some.
imagine why hyper.
Yeah, but it's not something that's on my. It's not something on like on my eBay on my eBay watch list. I don't have Cheval Noir like on my watch list, and it
Yeah,
so
no, I get
yeah.
it. I get it. But crazy to see. CGC 98 sold for 1,200 US dollars, came in at number 11 on cover price. Now, some cover price shakers. Yes. And I said, we're going to talk some of those books that I'm sure Hyper has picked up. But we
Yep.
have Batgirl 28. This is the J.G. Jones 1 in 25 steampunk variant. There he is. See, look, guy came ready. He came ready. He
I
knew.
came, I saw the slide, so I actually and listen, I did not know the slides that BC was gonna show until after. So yeah, dude, that I literally found this for $15 last year at my shop. I knew of this cover. I had to double take because I thought maybe the price went down on this book. And then when you told
Yeah.
me it's 400 USD, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
wow.
That's raw, baby. And you picked it up for 15 Canadian dollars. That's chump
Yeah,
change. Chump change.
that's insane. And look, during the New 52 era, I think issue number 28 of a lot of these series they were doing a lot of these ratio steampunk variants. Some hit, some didn't. This one hit because Batgirl wasn't a heavily ordered series compared to like let's say Batman or Superman. the other ones were like, I know like Wonder Woman. There's a steampunk that's even much more higher in price than this. I think that's actually the most expensive steampunk, but this is right up there.
Yep.
Yeah. So and J.G. Jones is a respected artist in the industry, so his covers also tend to go for some change.
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful cover, man. Like, again, look, worth the $400 price tag. I understand why. Probably one that you don't come across too often, the one in
No,
25. But I mean, just like Hyper guys, you never know. You might find them for dirt cheap. Look at that, 15 Canadian dollars, and here it
yeah.
is selling at 400 US dollars. So big pickup for you, sir. Congrats.
Thank you, thank
All
you.
right. I'm sure we're going to talk more books that you've picked up. This one not being one of those, but
No,
Spawn 231, the 1 in 25 black and white homage cover of Spider Man #1. Todd McFarlane greatness, of course. And no, this is not a Baker Shaker, guys. It's a cover price shaker. But I will tell you, Michael Baker did send me this prior to the shaker list dropping. CGC 98 sold for 1,400 US dollars, man. That's, dude, it's nuts.
dude. Yeah, I think there was like at least 6 or 7 issues in that
Yeah.
period that were all homage
Well,
covers,
man.
and each and every one of them had those black and white variants.
Yep.
And those black and white, first of all, the regular covers are already tough enough to find, so the black and whites are even scarcer. So to find one, it doesn't surprise me that it's hitting 4 figures in a 9.8.
Yeah.
And I'm actually curious if Baker has one of these in his PC, being the
Uh,
Spawn collector that he is.
Wouldn't surprise me, but yes, I just want to point something out because crazy, yeah, infamous Jeb, crazy. You got to think, right? Let's talk Spider-Man 1. This is homaging Spider-Man 1, right? Now,
Hmm.
Spider-Man 1, there's so many out there, of course. I would say a lot of people tend to seek the bronze one a lot more. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's like the second printing. Yeah.
yeah, and this sells ridiculously way more than that. Now, of course, given the scarcity, right? It is a ratio as opposed to a regular print, but it's pretty impressive to see this at 1,400 US dollars. I think that's wild.
And it's kind of meta for McFarlane to be homaging himself.
Yeah, right, right. Well, J. Scott Campbell's been doing it lately with his exclusives, right?
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. And those have been selling like hotcakes as well. Yeah.
yeah. But all right, let's move on from this because here's another book that Hyper may own. Yeah, see, the second you see him turn over, guys, you know what's going on. Venom 23. This is the Ramos variant. Dude, raw copy, cover price shaker sold for 300 US dollars. Oh, you have it in a slab. Look at that. 9.6.
I didn't even get this graded. I bought this in a 9.6. I basically paid. I paid. Hold on. It was a 3 slab bundle, and I paid 250 for all 3 slabs
Wow.
total. So it came out to like $80 for this slab.
Not bad, dude. Not bad. But yeah, man, this is an awesome run. Dude, I loved Flash Thompson as Venom, man. The whole Agent Venom stuff was great. Now, Venom 23, dude, the Ramos variant, I've never seen it in person. So the fact you had the opportunity to pick one up, that's
This
awesome.
this is a tough one to find because actually prior to coming on your show, I did actually look at the listings. I think there's only 4 listings. This is actually a ratio. This is a 1 in 30.
Yeah,
uh 1 in 30 ratio. And during the Rick Remender run, a lot of the ratio variants nowadays do actually go for quite a bit of change. This being one of the more prominent ones because it is also um later into the run. And 2011, those ratios tend to go for a bit more, like the 2010, 2011 Marvel ratios, because they weren't ordering as many copies as they are right now. So
exactly.
um yeah, if you find these ratio variants from the Remender run for a good price, definitely scoop them up.
Yep. Of course. Hyper, one of our brothers is in the chat. Cali Comics is here, man. Cali, appreciate you swinging by, showing some love. Yeah, man. The Venom 23 is just it doesn't surprise me. Also, where's Jeb's comment? I saw he said he has a couple of these. Yeah, there's no surprise.
Yeah.
No surprise. Biggest
No.
symbiote fan I know. But yeah, 300 US dollars for a raw near mint. Hyper X-Men 20 it just
Oh boy.
needs over. X-Men 23, the 1 in 50 John Tyler Christopher cover price shaker. Yeah, look at that. CGC 98 650 US dollars. Is that a contender, my bro?
It might be. I mean, with Armin's work and maybe with a little bit of luck on my side, it could possibly hit a 9. I'm thinking it's more going to be a 9.6. But look,
Nine.
when you paid only $25 for this, are you really complaining?
Nope, absolutely not. But dude, look, 650 US dollars, and you said you picked it up for 25. Patience is key, people. This is prime example right here with this man picking up
Honestly,
books.
and I always like what Swaggle House mentions on his channel. Sometimes you have to let the books come to you. I wasn't actually, honestly, I wasn't even actively seeking out this book. This just happened to pop up during one of my hunts, and that's how sometimes the luck goes. Sometimes it just comes across your view, and then you just have to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And look, these 1 in 50 venomized ratios, I think all of them pretty much go for triple digits at this point. There's not even the lesser known titles, like what is it, like the Defenders and all those. Some of those even go for triple digits. So if you find any of these 1 in 50 venomized covers from 2010, 2011, and it's a decent price, I would definitely not think twice on grabbing these. And I'm sure Jeb knows about these very well.
Yeah, dude, it's funny because I remember you sending us this picture not too long ago. Like you were showing us that you recently picked this up, and I was watching Lords of the Long Box covering,
Mhm.
the cover price shakers, and shout out to Tivo and the gang doing their stuff. And immediately when I saw the book, I'm like, yeah, I think Hyper has this. And then you message us in the chat, and I'm like, yeah, man, like, dude, another solid pickup. But it's such a great book to have, and I think a lot of people maybe are just not aware. Sometimes, you could be in those back bins, and you'll just flip right over it, man. But
You know what's the issue though is because you've also seen some of those Venomized theme covers, which is not the same ones. Where like, have you seen those covers that says Venomized at the corner and it
yep,
just
yep, yep.
those don't really go for much. So I don't know if some people when they see these they might think it's in the same line. So that's why you have to be careful on which era, like from 2010,
Oh yeah,
2011, that series when they do those Venomized and it's a ratio. uh, those don't come very often. And like I said, during that time, shops weren't ordering a lot of high volume ratios. So that's why ratios during that period tend to demand more of a premium.
yeah. It's funny. I actually just picked up the Invincible Iron Man, the Venomized with Doctor Doom on the cover. I know it's not a big book or anything, but I was just like, this is such a nice cover.
It's
So
still, yeah, that's still a dope cover.
yeah. But we've got Lobo Liquor in the chat, man. What's going on, Lobo? Appreciate you being here.
What's
Yeah, I
up?
love this cover as well. It's so good. So good. But let's move on. We have a lot of books and a lot of hot topics to talk about. TMNT number 18. Yes, the 1 in 10 Nirvana Nevermind album homage. CGC 98 sold for 599 US dollars. This man reached over. You're on fire, bro. You are on fire.
I think it's gonna be a dry streak after. I think there might be one more after.
Yep.
It just happened that's how the slides worked out. So this one I picked up for well, this one it's a bit unfair because this is a few years ago, so it wasn't recent. It's probably like during COVID. I picked this up for $15 at my shop.
Yeah, dude. Again, another big pickup, man, and biggest TMNT fan I know as well, right? So, like, it's only fitting that you managed to pick this up. But I love the fact it's homaging Nirvana, one of my favorite grunge bands of all time, and of course, dude, it's a notorious album. Like, it doesn't get better than that. So, yeah, I love the homage. The slice of pizza instead of a dollar bill.
There's been a lot of comics that actually homage this. Not a lot, but
Yep.
there's been a handful of comics that homage this cover, and I'm actually trying to hunt for every single because I do have the Rocket Raccoon version of this, and I do have the Deadpool Merc with them out. So there's a couple like I'm missing the Power Rangers homage. So it's just a cool cover with the pizza slice and Michelangelo swimming towards it. And plus, like you mentioned, I'm a TMNT fan. I only grabbed it at that time for that reason and the whole homage. And this goes back to listen. If you buy what you like, you'll never go wrong.
Yep. Agreed, man. Dan Delatorre's in the house. Dan, don't apologize for being late. I'm just appreciative over the fact that you are here. And I saw you posted you had the opportunity to meet Swagahas, man. So that's pretty cool. Nice little picture of you guys over on Instagram. Now, guys, Dan Delatorre always crushing it with spine ticks. And of course, over on The Hunt, Tony Sanders' channel. So go support Dan Delatorre on both channels. Show some love. Dan Delatorre is an absolute gem within this community that we have going on. JT Keel's in the house. JT, appreciate you. Yes, man. Comics is the way, baby. So appreciate you being here. But all right, let's move on from this book because we've got Airboy number 5, another Dave Stevens cover. CGC, are you seriously reaching over again? What's
This is
going on?
I think this is the last one. I think this is the last one. I promise. This is the last one. This one I actually grabbed for $2 for $5 sale at Whatnot. This was back when Whatnot was just starting. So yeah, this was like a $2 for $5 deal that I grabbed.
Jesus, dude, you're on fire. But yeah, look at that, man. Baker Shaker this week. CGC 98 sold for $500 US. Airboy number 5. Dave Stevens. We just explained to you why this, all these Dave Stevens covers have been popping. No surprise. Again, no surprise that this one popped. It's a neat cover, but CGC 98 going for $500 US. That's crazy. I would I would hope that I could come across a copy like you did for dirt cheap, man.
The thing is, 500 is a lot, but this is actually considered cheap for a 9.8 Dave Stevens covers. Like if you've seen what the other Dave Stevens covers go for, like some, going over 4 digits, it's actually not a bad price for a 9.8, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't think my copy's a 9.8, but I mean, look, you're not going to complain when it's a 2 for $5. But yeah, this cover immediately grabs you when you look at it.
Oh, dude.
And this cover was already doing well pre the Dave Stevens hype. So this was
Yep.
always one of those books that was always
Up there.
fetching a premium. But because of the whole Dave Stevens train, it actually upped the ante a bit.
Yep. For sure, man. I agree with Callie, by the way. Callie, Dan's got to give everybody a dollar book, and we'll forgive him for being late. And speaking late, Comic Ozzy, the paisans in the house, man. Ozzy, appreciate you being here, guys. Ozzy has another killer sale taking place on Whatnot this Tuesday. So if you're not already following him on Whatnot, please do so because has some of the best books that are on that platform. I cannot stress it enough, man.
For sure.
He's not putting up those $2 books that are fillers. No, the guy's putting straight banger after banger. So definitely go check it out. But all right, let's move on from this one. Hold on. Actually, I saw a funny comment. It was our brother Shiki, Comic Sheik, saying, "I'm convinced Hyper sleeps on a bed made out of short boxes, long boxes." Yeah, dude.
It might actually help my back if I did, probably.
Oh man, bought to sell them and grab some Golden Age. There you go. But all right, let's move on. We've got Batman, Superman number 8. Are you gonna turn over now?
No, I don't.
No.
I'm not turning my back. I don't have this one. So the streak is over.
There you go. So Baker Shaker this week, we have Michael Turner, 2017 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. This book exploded, dude. Like immediately. It was so fast how this one exploded. CGC 98 sold for $1,100 this week. No surprise. Again, absolutely gorgeous cover.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Turner, I find, is one of those underrated artists. I don't think he gets as much love as he deserves. There are a lot of Turner collectors, but I think these go for more because they're looking for more of the exclusive Turner covers. Because you could always find Turner covers in a lot of series, like especially like the Batman Superman one. He did a lot of those regular covers. Those are generally cover price, but these exclusive ones, which are harder to find, they will fetch a premium because they're just not that many out there.
Yeah, exactly. There aren't so many out there. You're up saying he sold his to Triple D. I hope it's in that mystery box of slabs he's got going for a raffle. But yeah, man, I agree with Chiapet saying that this was Turner. So this is when Turner was in his prime, man. It's so good. Oh, Callie dropping. This is big.
You know what?
Turner over Campbell.
Listen, you know what? I'm actually gonna side with Callie on this one. Like, no shade to Campbell, but I do have more of a bias towards Turner, just because I find Campbell's art lends more towards females than it does males. In general.
Yeah.
From my observation, whereas Turner, I kind of find he's multifaceted.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. Love the Turner Phantom covers. Those are beautiful covers as well, man. Turner covers are just great. I think this is, I don't want to say his best cover. I don't want to say it is, but it's up there because, like, look at the premium it's fetching, right? CG98 going for $1,100. Pretty impressive. I love this book. If I could have a copy, you could bet your ass I would do, well, not anything it takes to get one, but I would really love to have one in the collection. And of course, beautiful cover to get signed too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be hard since he's passed away.
Yeah. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Unless you have access to a magician or something. I don't know how you're gonna get the CGC signature.
To have gotten signed. I apologize for that, guys, but you know what I mean. Like it's a beautiful cover. Like it's a canvas on its own, bro. But
For sure, for sure.
gorgeous. But
I
all
just
right.
didn't want. I was afraid I busted your bubble like live on air. I'm like, oh no, wait,
No,
did
no,
Lemon
no. You
pass
didn't
away?
burst my bubble. I had said it. I'm like, no. What am I saying, idiot? But all right, let's move on. We have Star Wars Darth Vader #3. Now, guys, we're not talking. Just oh, he's leaning over
Well, okay,
again.
come on. Okay, listen. In fairness, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat have this book. So I don't think I'm breaking grounds with this book. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll be honest. I did have the book. I sold it at a CGC 98. I
Oh,
sold it at
really?
yeah. I sold it at 400 Canadian dollars, and I'm gonna explain why. I did see the dip
That's a good
coming.
price though that you got.
Yeah, I did see the dip coming, and a CGC 98 going for 155 US dollars. We're not just talking at we're not just talking the books and the big sales on the show. We want to highlight some of the books that look how they've come down. Right now is a good time to buy Dr. Afra. I think, look, like
Hmm.
I said, I sold it for 400 Canadian. I could buy it back right now and still pocket some money.
Yeah. Look. Full disclosure, I paid 100 Canadian raw for this. This was obviously during the time when it's a bit more. It was a bit more of a hype on this book. So I'm pretty sure. Um, I could find it cheaper now. So you're right. These books have definitely cooled down. So if you're in the market for and especially that 1 in 25 ratio, I don't know if you saw that one with Darth Vader
Yep.
with on
Yep.
the
That
ledge.
that that came down, dude.
That really came down. So for anyone that bought that for what is it? It was like 4 digits at one point. I think
Yep.
that's now under 1,000 for a 9.8. So yeah, so these Dr. Afro books, if you were in the market, I would say it's a good time to test the waters and see if you can find a decent price on these.
Yep. But look, lots of potential when it comes to Doctor Afra. I think it's a no brainer, right? It's a character that can easily pop. The book
Mhm.
will see its light of day again. It will happen. It's inevitable to bring in Doctor Afra, but
Yeah,
right now is a good buy-in time. That's all I'm
dude.
saying.
And that's the only reason I even bought that raw copy to begin with. Like Chia Pet mentioned, this is more of a hold for me. I never looked at this as one of those flips. I kind of figured she will inevitably come into um the Star Wars universe under Disney. So yeah, I think this book will definitely see its light. You know.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. Now, Linman saying saw one on eBay at $400 right now. I'm literally on eBay looking and $214 Canadian.
400 is what they might be asking, but I really doubt they're going to get 400.
Yeah, like the most. Oh, so the one that you're talking about, which is the La Rocca,
Yeah.
it actually just recently sold for $1,526. It sold today. If you guys,
Canadian or
yeah, Canadian. If you think I'm lying, it was 1,116 US dollars. This is the sale that took place.
oh wow, okay.
So there you have it. So it is staying
It's
above
funny, yeah,
the
because it
four
did actually
digits.
come down for a bit. I do remember it going under 4 digits at one point. So
But look here, there's one at 400 for some reason. Oh, it's signed. That's the signed one that
mm,
you probably saw, Linman. But look, 194 Canadian dollars for a CGC 98. So just to give you
yeah,
an
that's
example of the recent sales, 155 US dollars. So yeah, it's coming down. It's come down. But the LaRocca, wow, 1,500. That was impressive.
yeah. I mean, it is the more harder one to find, even though this had like what 4 printings, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
N Town, appreciate you. Thank you so much for swinging by. Yeah. Okay, there you go. The 1 in 25. All right, let's move on from Dr. Afra. Futurama, #1. But this is the newsstand, guys. This is a
Mm,
newsstand based on the animated TV show. CGC 98 sold for 349 US dollars. Baker Shaker this week. And what's actually cool about this is the back of it has an actual like pinup done by Matt Groening. So I like that a lot. I personally, especially when it's the original creator artist, like I'm
yeah.
all for it. But yeah, man. So newsstand. This look 349 US dollars is relatively low in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering maybe maybe is it because of the print count? Maybe that's the reason why it's as low as it is.
Well,
Because I would imagine being a number one issue, it's not it can't be that scarce, right?
well, there's that, but for myself, it's how everybody goes newsstand premium crazy, right?
Right, right, yeah.
So I'm just saying 349 US dollars for such.
It seems decent. I mean, it seems. I mean, I think it definitely is more than what the Simpsons comics 9/8 would go for, right? Because I think that had a higher print run than Futurama.
Yeah.
At least I would think.
Well, yeah, that's a definite. But I think this is great, man. If you're a Futurama fan, like, look, we have our friend Newbie who's collecting Simpsons comics. That's what he's into right now.
Hmm.
Simpsons 1 is not really, well, I would say it's relatively cheap for a 9/8.
Well, no, not Simpsons one, because it would be the other one, the Bart Simpsons. Because technically, the Bart Simpsons one is their first appearance, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
I'm just talking Futurama Simpsons 1, not
Oh,
looking
okay,
at
got it. Yeah,
comparison.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's an homage to Fantastic Four, right? The cover. So,
Hmm.
and I'm talking the Simpsons one. So I don't know. I still think that one's relatively low, but yes, you're right. I have the Bart Simpson one somewhere. It's up there. It's the Simpsons Comics and Stories #1, and yeah, that's the first appearance of Simpsons in a U.S. standard comic. So yeah, and that too is relatively cheap. So I think these are pretty good buys. If you're a fan, of course.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually looking for this one, but more like I'm trying to gamble and find one raw, and then then buying it graded.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with all the raw gems you've been finding. Yeah,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know about this one. The number ones generally shops generally have an idea what they have, and they usually
yeah.
keep those behind the wall.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because look, a totally different style of book. But this week, oh, sorry, yesterday, this weekend, I picked up the full run of Big Hero 6 by Marvel.
I saw that. Yeah.
And now, issue #1, I see everywhere. I've seen it many times at multiple shops. I've
Mm.
never seen issues 2, 3, 4, 5 ever. I never see them, especially not in a high grade. I had the opportunity to pick it up. I was happy as hell. But you're right; those #1s you tend to see more of, right? It's those later, the later issues that you're not seeing so often.
They,
When I
they
went
they
on
might not be
eBay,
ordered as much as like the first issue, right?
well, yeah,
So
because everybody wants the #1, and then after that, they tend to like shy away, right?
yeah, well, not only that, but maybe those number one sales didn't hit as hard as shops wanted it, and so they might adjust their orders accordingly for the later issues. So that
Well, let's take the recent Thundercats. I don't want to get completely off topic, but I
Mm,
think Thundercats had, let's say, I don't know, 100, and I'm just shooting numbers. It was like 150,000 copies on pre-order, and then after that, they cut down by half by issue 2. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Or by at least a third. So
that's I think that's the general trajectory of most of these issues. Unless it slaps very hard on release date, shops will drastically adjust their orders.
yeah,
Because they got to make their money back. So
somehow, yeah. But all right, let's move forward. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog issue #13, Baker Shaker. Now, guys, we just recently got the Knuckles show over on Paramount. First appearance of Knuckles in a US comic. CGC 98 sold for 417 Canadian dollars. Not bad considering, but I have seen this book for way cheaper prior. So,
in a 9/8.
yep.
Oh wow, really? Because I was just gonna say, like a lot of these Archie Sonic books are usually beat to shit. Usually when I go to shops, so to find one in a 9/8 seems like a gem. Um, and look, these were meant for kids when they were released. So that's partly the reason. Actually, that's the majority of the reason why a lot of these copies are usually in that VF below VF grade range. So I'm honestly surprised. I mean, that it's only 400 Canadian, so that makes it about 350 US probably. No, close to
Yeah.
325 US. In a 9/8, that's not too bad. And Knuckles apparently is doing very well on Paramount Plus. So yeah,
Yep.
this is a book I don't have in the PC, but I'm definitely looking for. Um, and Sonic is one of those series in the Archie series that I would compromise on the grade just because it is kind of tough to find sometimes in higher grade
Yeah.
for this
Look,
series.
I'm maybe I slightly exaggerated when I said I've seen it for way cheaper, but by way cheaper, like in the Canadians dollar side, like I've seen this in the 300 range. So like
Mm,
to see it only get 100 and something dollar jump, or like even now at 417 Canadian, considering the fact that now we have Knuckles, right, in live action,
yeah,
how such books tend to do, right? Once people see these characters on TV or movies, whatever, we see a jump. It wasn't the biggest jump. There is a newsstand that is available for this though, right? So maybe the newsstand does carry that much more of a premium. We'll say, let's say $600, $700, somewhere around there.
mm.
But yeah, maybe that's what kind of hinders the regular one.
Yeah, like I said, this and TMNT Archie series, those two, if ever you go to a con, they usually get the good copies. I usually at least usually gets picked over by collectors. So even if dealers don't know what they have in their boxes, collectors do, and those usually tend to go very fast when you go to those shows.
Yep.
So
Agreed. But let's move on from Sonic because we've got Space Ghost #1. Now, we recently got Space Ghost brought back now in Dynamite. I read it. It was incredible. I picked it up yesterday, dude. I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. So I'm
oh
on
really?
board.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on board with Space Ghost. I thought it was really good. I actually was bugging Nemesis Prime, ironically, who he was like, dude, Dynamite killed it with the book, and I was like, oh really? Because I was bugging him. I'm like, does anyone really read Dynamite books anymore, or are they just picking up covers like Vampirella and shit like that? Like, what's going on? And Space Ghost was great, dude. I really enjoyed it. Now I know there's other books that Dynamite puts out that are actually good, but Space Ghost was really good, so I
Hmm.
enjoyed it. Now here we've got the OG Space Ghost #1, the first appearance of Space Ghost in comics. CGC 4.0 sold for $339 and again Baker Shaker this week.
Okay, listen. Question for you: have you ever seen the Space Ghost cartoons?
No,
Okay, see, neither have I. So I don't really have an affinity. So that's why I'm even more curious now that you say it's actually really good because you don't have any bias towards the property either. So you're reading it for the first time. So
yeah,
yeah, I never like I didn't actually grow up watching Space Ghost, but I'm aware that the issue one for the new issue came out recently from Dynamite, and no surprise, this has gotten some traction because of it. Um, Listen, if word of mouth goes around saying that this new series is great and it keeps that momentum, this issue one might be one that's gonna get some resurgence.
yeah. Oh, I was he saying he got hit in the nostalgia nuggets. Yes, right in the nuts, baby, dude. For sure, like Hyper was saying, right? Like for both of us, it's not like we grew up watching these cartoons or anything, so it doesn't resonate with us. But of course, if you grew up with this, I could only imagine how much of
Mhm.
it means to you to come across a high grade copy. Sending that to CGC, dude. I'm curious to know what it comes back, man. Keep me in the loop because that's
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
awesome stuff, dude. 4.0 sold for $339. So imagine if you get back an 8.0, a 9.0, like, dude.
That's gonna be some crazy value.
Yeah. And Dan's saying the same thing that he just bought the new Dynamite Space Ghost book. Super cool. Yeah, I got the cover. I think it's the cover A there where he's like just it's him on the cover,
Yeah,
like the black
I know which
background.
one you're talking about.
Yeah. But I did see the other covers too, and I was like, oh, these are neat. There was one cover very much along the lines of what we see here. But I just wanted a cover, a copy to read. And I actually really enjoyed the read. So yeah.
I think the only Space Ghost book I have in my PC is this is when Marvel and not Marvel, DC and Hanna-Barbera were doing a crossover. I have Space Ghost Green Lantern one shot. I don't know if people remember that in the chat. They did those
Wow.
crossovers.
We just
So
got called out as Canadians, bro. You're not wrong.
hey, listen, don't knock Red Green. Red Green
Yeah.
was a great show.
Yeah,
I'm
because of
actually wondering if he's still alive. Actually, now that you,
yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to Wikipedia him after the show.
Yeah, because of red green, I pretty much fix everything with duct tape. So
Duct tape.
yeah, yeah. Need the Herculoids next. But yeah, man. So Space Ghost again, now back with Dynamite, great read, and of course CGC 4.0, $339.
Yep.
Guys, we're gonna run on a train here called second appearances, and I want you guys to keep an eye out for this because it is pretty interesting to see these sales. Tales to Astonish 35. The second appearance of Batman, first appearance of him in costume. CGC 4.0 sold for $683. It is a Baker Shaker. I love it, especially that he's on the cover with the costume, right? Like I'm just, dude, if I had the opportunity to pick up a copy, I would. Second appearances. Sometimes you can't afford the first. Seconds are pretty up there for
Well,
certain books of such.
I mean, especially when that first appearance is already a very expensive book to begin with. That second appearance is, I mean, I wouldn't even call it a consolation. It's still a great book to have in your
Yeah, of
PC, regardless.
course.
And like you said, the fact that it is the first appearance in costume makes it that much more special. Um, yeah, and to be honest, like between the two covers, like this one, aside from the fact it's not his actual first appearance, I do like this cover more than the first appearance. the first appearance is obviously more recognizable just because of the historical significance of that cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those books that look. Um, it's always the saying, like if you can't afford the first, the second is not a bad way to go.
Yep. Hawk saying second is better than no appearance, and I agree with you, Pets. Old school second appearances are big, guys, and
Yeah.
like I said, we're gonna run on a train here of second appearances. Callie saying handyman secret weapon, yes, duct tape, dude, 100%. But not just tales to astonish. Check this, man. Brave and the Bold, issue 29, the second appearance of Justice League of America, CGC 8.0, sold for $2,200 US. It is a Baker Shaker this week. Again, another incredible book to have within your collection, man. I think it's a no-brainer, dude. I would want this all day, every day in my collection.
Yeah, especially because I don't even want to guess what an 8.0 in a for Brave and the Bold 28 goes for. So yeah,
Yeah,
2200 for an 8.0 is a little bit more digestible for me.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, again, it's one of the more iconic groups, factions, whatever you want to call it, in comics history.
of
That and
course.
Avengers. So
Yeah,
uh, getting the second appearance of Justice League, yeah, hell yeah.
yeah. I like you said, this is more appealing to my wallet, right? As opposed to the first appearance of the Justice League. But yeah, man,
Dude, no one's gonna scoff at you if you told them that you got a second appearance of the Justice League, and if they
no,
do that, yeah, they're
they're
full of shit.
haters.
Yeah.
They're DC haters. How could you hate DC? Newbie. Um, but all right, like I said, we're running on a train of second appearances. Check this one out. The X-Men #2, bro. This we're gonna end on the X-Men because there's tons of X-Men to discuss. But X-Men #2, second appearance of the X-Men, first appearance of the Vanisher, CGC 7.5 sold for $1,963 US. Baker Shaker, you named the Avengers, you named the Justice League. How dare you? How dare you forget the X-Men, Hyper? What is going on?
That's true. Well, hold on. Yeah, I don't have an excuse for that. Yeah, I can't. I should. I don't know why I didn't include X-Men in that conversation. No, they should have definitely been in that conversation.
Yeah.
Um, listen, again, like going again with your theme, second appearance of X-Men, definitely. If I can't get the first, I am more than happy to have the second in the PC. And Vanisher is an appropriate title for what's going to happen to my bank account if I buy these books.
That's hilarious. Hawk saying I'm doing Silver Batman Rogues Gallery because Gold Batman is on another level. Yeah, absolutely. Second or Silver is always more appealing to the wallet for sure. That is, dude. There's nothing wrong with that, man. And look, I'm all for it. Look, tell me you wouldn't want to own any of these that we just shown tonight, right? Like
Hmm.
X-Men #2, second appearance of the X-Men. You got second appearance of the Justice League. You got second appearance of Ant-Man. Okay, maybe a little less appealing than the other two. Some people still have a sour taste from the movie for some reason, but
Listen. Okay, I'm just gonna go on a little tangent. If the movie is what's gonna sour you on a historical character like Ant-Man, then I don't know
exactly.
what to say. It's almost like saying like Thor: Love and Thunder suddenly sours your chase
Journey into
for
Mystery.
like Journey into Mystery. That's not a trash book just because Taika
Exactly.
Waititi shit the bed. That
Yeah.
should never be a reason why books of that significance drop in value. They should always have a place
Yeah.
in Anyways, that's
Yeah.
just my little side rant.
But it's funny you say that because that was the market report. And shout out to Michael Baker for all these awesome books. And of course, Cover Price CBSI and all of the other ones. I stayed away from Key Collector this week simply because tomorrow night at 6:30, I'm going to be going through the trending 20 with Izzy Verse over on his channel. But you spoke some things that we're going to cover in the hot topics. And guys, it is a heavy hot topics this week because yes, I was away. We did miss out on some stuff, but I'm only covering what's happened in the last week. Now there's
It's funny because I was gonna go in, but then I realized I was about to dive into the next, so I had to pull back on some of what I was saying, like
no,
mid
don't worry about
sentence.
it.
I was
Don't worry
like,
about it. Don't worry about it. But some interesting things. We're going to talk about, there's the mansion that just came out, right? That for some reason every influencer has already been there.
mhm.
CGC $7,000 mistake. Guys, stick around. We're going to talk about that. And obviously there is a good outcome for this. It's not a knock at CGC, but there's a lot to discuss. So Hyper for the last time tonight, but not forever because I know you'll be back. Are you ready?
Yeah, for sure, I'm ready.
Okay.
That
For
was that
sure.
was weak. I know. I was thinking of something epic, and then I just kind of
Yeah. Thank you.
sorry.
You are epic. That's all that matters,
Okay,
sir,
you know what
right?
happened? Like when you have something like lined up in the back of your head and like, okay, I'm gonna say this line, but then I froze, and then it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of
As
yeah.
long as you're not doing that at the club with, when you're trying to pick up some chicks, that's all that
I
matters.
think
If
I'm
you
a
do
bit
it
too
here,
old
it's
for the
fine.
club. I'm a bit
Here
too
it's
old
fine,
for.
not at the clubs. But hot topics, guys. Let's get into it. Now there might be some spoilers. I'll give you guys a heads up when it's about to get into spoiler territory. But first and foremost, you spoke Thor, Love and Thunder, but this made me happy because Chris Hemsworth blames himself for Thor, Love and Thunder's wackiness. I didn't stick the landing. I got caught up in the improv. I became a parody myself. Thank you. Thank you for just admitting it because it was horrendous. That's all I wanted to say. Not much news here other than facts.
Okay, listen. I agree. He could have toned down on the campiness on his part, but you can't blame all of it on just
Oh
Hemsworth.
no,
Look,
it's not just him, dude. You got Taika. You can blame, dude, many people, but he owned the fact that he got
sure, sure,
carried away.
and I respect him for that. But like, look, that movie died a death in so many ways, not just because of Hemsworth's overly jokey performance. I mean, for one thing, Gore the God Butcher. I don't think I need to say anymore. I
No, that
mean,
was horrendous.
so
Broke my heart. But yeah, no one to blame. It happens when friends are okay. Yeah. I guess that was just friends being friends. Like you said, man, they were having a little too much fun on set. But again, shout out to Chris Hemsworth for owning it. That's all I'm saying. He owned it his part of the nonsense. So,
yeah.
yeah. But all right. I don't know if you saw this, but on the DC side of things, Black Panther's Winston Duke wants to play Batman in James Gunn's DCU. Now, he already voiced Bruce Wayne in Spotify's Batman Unburied, which I've not had the opportunity to hear. So now that I know about this, I kind of want to go check that out, right? But no, that's all I'm saying. It's a no. I'm always going to see Umbaku number one.
Look, there's a lot of things we want to play. Look, I want to play Michael Jordan in his biopic, but I don't exactly have the height requirement for that. So,
Or the basketball skills.
well, no, that probably is also on the wayside as well. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good. Yo, if you did you ever see that commercial where Michael Jordan's with his mom and then
I saw the
he's
Shaquille O'Neal one where he's with his mom with that
so
picture commercial.
I'm gonna try to find it as we're going through the show and then I'll put it up. I don't care if my video gets taken down. I just want you guys to see it. But there's a video of Michael Jordan with his mom and the mom goes to do like a layup. But like when it cuts to the layup, you could tell it's a guy. Like it's a guy. It's a guy that's doing it.
Okay, well now I'm curious, but okay, regarding this, yeah, look, my initial reaction is no, because first of all, okay, maybe I don't know his full acting resume, but what from his previous, and I'm not just talking about his black. I've seen that movie he did with Mark Wahlberg. I forgot what it's called on Netflix. A lot of his roles, he's a very comedic timing kind of guy. I don't see anything in his previous resume that lends me to think that yeah, that's gonna be a good Bruce Wayne. Like at least with Robert Pattinson, even when he got shat on, like initially because he's the Twilight guy, he did have some acting chops in other roles. And look, if we're gonna go down physique wise, he did have also a jawline as well. Which is look, aesthetics is part of the thing in Hollywood. So I'm just not seeing what Winston is seeing that makes him think he can be Batman.
Yeah.
And look, I didn't even talk about race either. We're just talking strictly
Yeah.
his resume as an actor and just what he might bring to the table. There's nothing like if you gave me like 50 guesses on who could be the next Batman, he wouldn't even crack the top 50.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I wouldn't even put him in the top 100, but whatever. Now, I'm dead set on showing you guys this, so I'm going to show you. I don't know if
We already
here,
have it.
pay attention to the mom. Pay attention to the mom. Watch the mom. Oh, no, wait. Here. Now. Tell me you saw that. Tell me you saw that.
I didn't see that, but no, I'm glad I did. I clearly now I know why Jordan shouldn't be an actor.
That was hilarious. Absolutely amazing. But anyways, I agree with you, man. I don't see it at all. And like you said, keep race aside, keep all of that aside. It's just even acting chops wise. I'll always see him as Mbaku. So it's just
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's typecasted, but I
But
just don't I
not,
don't see it.
but this is why guys like RDJ and all them like that, they've been in the industry a long time. They know that if you stick to a role too long, and that's what you're known for, that's kind of what people are gonna see you as. So it's almost like that's why Batista didn't want to be known as the action movie guy. Batista did other serious roles. And look, people actually regard Batista nowadays as a high level actor, even though he comes from that wrestling world. So really, you know, your career choices do matter in
Of
Hollywood.
course. But anyways, moving on from Mbaku. Let's get to this because Josh Brolin, I don't know if you saw this. He gets
Mm.
candid about not returning as Cable in Deadpool and Wolverine. At first, I thought this was a swerve. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, probably he's like doing this on purpose to make people think it's not gonna happen, but then maybe it will happen. So who
Yeah.
knows? But he says, "I so wanted to be in that movie. Cable was a lot of fun. I really liked doing that role. Hugh Jackman, I'm absolutely in love with. I know Ryan Reynolds now. I just think the coming together of these characters is just fantastic." So yeah, I don't know if he's downplaying this. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if this is a red herring. I don't know if we should take this at face value or not, to be honest, because a lot of the promos for Deadpool has been a very tongue in cheek. So I don't know if this is a situation like you mentioned where it might be a swerve. Because why did he feel he needed to even put out this statement like so close to the release of the movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
It just it just seems very peculiar, to be
yeah.
honest.
I felt the same way. I was reading it. I'm like, man, are you trying to swerve me, bro? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
But
it's almost like had he not said anything, we probably wouldn't have paid attention as much. But now that he wrote this, I'm actually more skeptical.
yeah, but we'll see. We'll see because yes, apparently this movie's filled with tons of cameos. So we'll see. We're getting close to the date, bro. We're getting
Mm,
close to the release date. So
day
I'm
one.
excited. I'm trying to stay away now and shy away from spoilers when it comes to this movie because
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to.
yeah, we've seen so many already. But man, you open Instagram and boom, spoiled. So yeah, don't be one of those guys. Don't be one of those guys. But moving on, I want to talk a few things here. Let's start with Fallout, okay? Guys, I don't know if you had the opportunity, Hyper. I don't know if you had the opportunity to chat. Did you watch Fallout? Because it was amazing. I have 2 episodes left.
I have
Two
to finish
episodes
it
left.
as well, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so
I have
far.
2 episodes left. I'm loving it. Now, Fallout nabs 65 million viewers in first 2 weeks of availability. That makes it the second most watched title ever on the Amazon Prime platform. No surprise, dude. Like Fallout is a great game. You're a gamer, right? You've played the Fallout games.
Dude,
Um,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. I stopped your train of
yeah,
thought.
no, it's fine. But look, I don't want to talk too much about where we're headed now within the conversation because it's all going to tie together. But
Mm,
Fallout itself, even if you weren't a gamer, you watch this as a standalone series. Like if, my wife were to sit down and watch this, I'm pretty sure she would enjoy it. The only thing I will say is that the episodes could feel a little long, right? When you're trying to watch
yeah.
it in a stretch, you got like 1 hour episodes. The first episode's like an hour and 20 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Uh, does it actually go? I can't remember if it actually goes over an hour. Yeah, you might be right, actually.
And yeah, so like I would say that would probably be the only hard part, but
Mhm.
it goes so fast, like because I'm genuinely intrigued, right? Like I'm interested in what I'm watching, so it goes really fast, kind of like when I watch X-Men '97.
Yeah. It's one of those situations like you mentioned, like I did play Fallout 3, and it's always nice like when I'm watching a show and it kind of puts a smile on my face when you see it paying a nod to the video games, but also doing it, in a nice way where it doesn't feel hokey.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, this series, honestly, when the trailer came out, I was a bit skeptical, but just because I wasn't sure about the execution of how the show was going to be, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And it's there definitely has to be multiple seasons. I would assume because Amazon would be fools if they don't renew this. I think news has already came out that it has been renewed. I think for at least a second or third season.
yeah, I
But
believe, I believe a second season, but
okay,
I haven't gotten to the end, so I don't know.
Yeah,
this
neither
is
neither
gonna
have I.
end.
But it's been a fun ride so far. And I'm actually curious. Would you know off the top of your head what's the first most watched? I'm guessing it's probably going to be Invincible or The Boys, right? One of those two.
Yeah, I think it would be the boys.
Yeah. The fact
Well,
that this beat Invincible also is kind of because I know Invincible also was also very acclaimed. So it's look it speaks high on video game properties in general. So yeah, kudos to Fallout.
yeah, so I'm looking and it seems that it is the boys from
Okay.
what I'm seeing.
Yeah, not surprising.
Yeah. Oh, it's saying that Fallout is a bigger Prime Video hit than the boys and Reacher, but it's not the most watched Amazon TV show ever.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll check after which one it is, but yeah, it's regardless, it's the second most. Oh, sorry. So it says that the honor belongs to Rings of Power. I didn't watch that, so
Rings of Power. Yeah,
yeah,
I can't.
Amazon's non-canon Lord of the Rings prequel series.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Those ones, yeah.
So
Wow,
yeah,
those were the most watched. Okay, I mean, I get it. That's Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
They have their mega fan base. Okay, yeah. N-
Again, Lefteros, like I said, first episode, maybe it's a little long, but otherwise, I find all the episodes go fast. Maybe the average person that's not the biggest fan is gonna be like, okay, it's feeling like a bit of a drag. Not for me, man. I'm loving it.
no, especially when they make you invest in the characters from the beginning.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Rings of Power.
Yeah.
All right. But all right, let's move on. It's all gonna tie together though. Okay, the next two slides. We have this one and two more to go. So Knuckles is Paramount Plus's most watched original series of all time. Now, Knuckles just dropped. I haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet, but I promised my kids I was going to watch it with them. They're huge Sonic fans, Knuckles fans. In fact, my oldest calls himself Sonic. He calls his younger brother Knuckles. That's how they identify themselves this week for some reason. And I'm
Nice.
Dr. Eggman. Go figure. I'm fucking Dr. Eggman. But yeah,
It,
don't even say anything. Hype.
it
But
checks.
but Knuckles is Paramount Plus's most watched original series of all time. So we spoke Fallout. We're talking Knuckles. This brings the question. It's official. We're in the golden age of video game adaptations and hyper. Would you agree? Because somebody brought it up before. The Last of Us, right?
Hmm.
Pedro Pascal. Dude, it was incredible. You didn't even have to play the video game. You were gonna be sucked into that series. It was so good. You had that. You have Fallout. You have Knuckles. We had
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. We had Super Mario dominate the box office recently, right? Are we possibly moving past the comic phase and getting into the video game phase?
I don't know if we're moving. I don't know if it's like a complete shift from comics to video games. But I would say that the market share definitely video games is creeping up in terms of its comeuppance.
Yeah,
Look, as gamers, we've been plagued by a lot of horrendous shit in the last decade or so. So it's nice to see that we're getting a good streak of properties that are taken seriously, and I think that's the thing. I think in the past, people kind of treated video games as almost like a cash grab. They figure, oh, like the video game fans will go to the theater, so we don't have to put as much of an effort into these movies. But I think now studios are taking a more serious approach when they're making these movies, that they don't want to just appeal to us gamers, but also to casuals as well. Like a lot of the people that watch the Fallout series are not gamers. Like
yeah,
let me ask you this point blank: have you played the Fallout games?
yes, I did.
Like the
Personally,
like
I did, dude. I loved all of them. Fallout.
okay.
I think Fallout 3 is probably my favorite, but
Okay, that's the one I was playing. But there are some gamers like I know that never played any of the Fallout games, and they enjoy the series. So you kind of have to appeal to both the gamers and and the non gamers as well. And I think studios are realizing that, like doing these direct to DVD cash grab scenarios that they were doing like in the '90s and early 2000s, that's not going to cut it, and it
yeah,
gives a bad taste in people's mouth for video game movies in general. So I'm just glad that we're at the point that people are actually taking these properties seriously, and it actually doesn't it doesn't put a bad stench on video game movies in general.
agreed. Yeah. Now, yes, Derek, this is another thing. New Vegas. Is that where we're headed with the show? I
Mm.
don't know. I didn't finish it, so don't spoil anything. I know there was. I did read there was an Easter egg about New Vegas, but I don't want to go any further because I want to finish the series and then come to the conclusion myself. But yeah, man, I agree with what you're saying, man. It's and of course even with Chia Pet saying that it's IP, guys. You know, if any IP a company does right is gonna hit pretty much. So um it's just it is. I would say we're in the golden age because let's rewind, bro. You're a big Street Fighter fan, Jean Claude Van Damme, right? That movie, yeah, exactly. Let's talk Super Mario back in the day. Yeah, I don't think I need
Okay,
to say more.
okay. So here's the thing about the Street Fighter fan. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment. I actually like that movie more as a guilty pleasure
Yeah,
kind of way. Like I would never recommend that movie as like something as like a cinematic masterpiece, but I watch it mainly just to get a laugh at it, probably for the wrong reasons.
yeah, I giggle.
So yeah.
Yeah, but the original Mortal Kombat movies I actually enjoyed.
The first
Yeah,
one was great. The second one, I don't know what the hell they were doing. The
yeah,
budgeting must have been cut in half for the second one.
I think they just tried to throw. Oh, there you go. See, Derek, same timing. Look
Yeah.
at that. Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I
The
really
first one
did.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
No.
like the dude. I was a kid, and when Shang Tsung told us pointing at the screen, "Your soul is
Oh,
mine," I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah, this guy's gonna get my my soul for real." Um, Gregory's saying, "Yeah, World of Warcraft."
I didn't see that movie. I know like it's on Netflix, but I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, Borderlands might make it or break it. I agree, man. Borderlands could be a big thing.
They have a pretty stacked cast for Borderlands though.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm pumped, man. It's a good time, man, to be a gamer fan now seeing things on a big screen. There wasn't a Halo movie, but yes, I forgot to mention Halo on Paramount. That was that too, man. So like a lot of good stuff coming out, good content when it comes to video games.
also one thing to point out is nowadays video games lately have a better are how do I say it? Video games nowadays have more of a script to them and there's more of a story-based focus
Yep.
so that future adaptations are going to have a easier time like with The Last of Us. If you play the game and then you watch the show, it was very like a paint by numbers adaptation with the
Yep.
game because the game itself had a stellar story, so they didn't really have to break the mold as much. So that's why I think going forward, when a lot of these games are going to be more narrative based, the shows are going to have an easier time adapting them.
Yep. Michael Baker, I agree. I actually prefer it more than the most recent one we got. Best video game movie is Edge of Tomorrow. Incredible. Fair. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's up there.
Wait, Edge of Tomorrow was a video game?
Dude, here. Edge of
I
Tomorrow.
watched the movie, but I didn't realize that was based on a video game.
Yeah, dude.
That's the one with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, right?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's news to me.
Yep.
Okay, no. So Chia Pet mentioned it's not an actual video game.
No, dude, it says PS4.
Really?
Unless Edge of Oh, it was on Android. My bad. I think it came out after the fact.
Yeah, that doesn't count. You
Yeah,
can't count a video game that came after the movie release.
yeah.
That's
Dude,
not a.
I'd love to see a God of War movie.
Well, hold on. Isn't it coming to Amazon? I think Amazon or not, one of those streaming services actually has rights to God of War. I think it's actually Amazon.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on from this because we have more stuff to talk about. But Giancarlo Esposito has revealed that he has been cast in a secret MCU project. He teases that it'll be announced sooner rather than later, and it's better than you can imagine. So I know a lot of people were speculating on the fact that, hey, maybe Professor X, maybe many characters, right? Because there was talk recently about Esposito coming over into the MCU. I don't know why. I get the feeling it's going to be the Beyonder.
It's hard to spec. I mean, it's very cryptic when he says sooner rather than later, and then better than you can. When he says better than you can imagine, I'm almost thinking that he's not going to be Xavier because that's what people are, like you said, are speculating, right? So I'm guessing that it's not going to be Xavier because he's almost making it sound like it's going to be a complete swerve in his casting. Look, either way, him being in the MCU fold can only elevate the cinematic universe because he's a great actor. If you've seen him in Breaking Bad, and he talking about video games, he was also the main villain in Far Cry 6. So Yeah, I think if this guy definitely is in the fold, then it can only elevate the whole MCU property.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But again, Beyonder could pop in sooner than later. We're starting to build the final pieces to Secret Wars, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes and who he's gonna play. But all right, let's move on because we've got this now, guys. I'm just like I said, I'm gonna put up a minor spoiler warning. It's not really a spoiler. I think everyone's already seen it. The McDonald's toys and characters. So if you want to see it, you see it. If you don't want to see it, take a step back and come join us in about 10 minutes. But first official look at Sam Wilson's Captain America suit for Brave New World. The film is
Mm.
currently set for a February 2025 release. Look, to be honest, this is not much news. In fact, I don't even care for the suit. It doesn't look that much more different. The colors are a little different over on the shoulder area and the arms or whatever. It looks like he's wearing Cap's suit pretty much with his Falcon gear. So cool.
Yeah, when you showed me the slide, I'm like, wait, so what's the old suit? It's
Yeah,
like,
well, no, there again, there's subtle changes. Like he had more
yeah,
gray going on at the top. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, or white. Yeah, like Chia Pet said,
no,
white.
no, no. I do. It's just that my initial reaction when I saw it was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, I didn't care for it. But now, like I said, fair warning. I'm gonna count it down 3 seconds. We'll get into slight spoilers. So three, two, one. But we got the first look at Danny Ramirez as Joaquin Torres wearing his new Falcon suit in Captain America Brave New World. Now, that picture you see behind him is actually from McDonald's current Happy Meal toys going
mm,
around, which is this right here. So, as you can see on the Happy Meal boxes, you've got Captain America Brave New World, you got the Red Wing, you've got Captain America in flight, then you have Falcon, which is the guy we just spoke about. I like the little Red Hulk. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty
yeah.
neat. Then on the other side, on the flip side, you've got Diamondback, you got Ruth, you got Captain America, and Red Hulk. Look, like I said, for me, what's a little more concerning is, are they dropping these now?
I
Because
was actually going to ask you the same question. Like, are these just promotional material, or is this actually going to drop soon? Because if the movies are like over a year away, why would you not over like under a year away? Sorry, why would they be dropping like imminently? That doesn't make sense release wise.
I don't know. AOA, let me not defend myself, but slightly correct myself. Yes, I get it. It's a nice suit, but I don't think it's newsworthy. What I think is newsworthy is this right here. I'm pumped as hell for this movie. I can't wait for it to come out, but the delays seem to be hurting across the map because now you have these toys being displayed at certain McDonald's, and I don't know what's the status. Are they going to
But wait,
release
wait,
the toys? Are they going to hold them?
these pictures you got, like, are they like leaks or are they like
Yeah, so
from
I saw these as leaks, man. The people online posting these, and it's not the first person. I think one of our friends in our chat just recently went to the States and he was taking pictures and sending it. I don't know if he got it from a leak or
interesting?
he sent it because he saw it at a McDonald's himself, but it's pretty interesting to see that this is even in circulation because look, they were ready to go.
Interesting. Yeah, that's well, yeah, okay, all right. I mean, well, for anyone that doubted that we're getting Red Hulk, I mean, there's your proof.
Yeah, exactly. But
It's also kind of look. When I saw this initially, I was also thinking, I guess just because of the way the figures are shaped, like why is Cat Williams Captain America?
oh fuck. That's hilarious, man. Dude, now I can't unsee that. You just ruined AOA's night with
Yeah,
that.
sorry, AOA, but you got Cat Williams as your Captain America.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure because again, these are people posting, from McDonald's. Like this is their Happy Meal box. The guy's in his car with his Happy Meal box. That's what he got. He got the Red Hulk. So, um, I'm not too sure that the displays are from an actual McDonald's. So, yeah,
I do miss the days when McDonald's toys were very in line with the movies. Do you remember like Batman Returns when they had those figures, like those Happy Meal figures that was right along the lines of when the movie released. I miss those days when McDonald's actually had those figures that you actually want to reach, run out and collect.
yeah. They had the cups. I don't know if you remember those. I
Yes,
still
I
have
do
one at
remember
my
the
parents'
cups.
house. Yeah,
Yeah,
my mom still has one.
yeah.
But yeah, anyways, very interesting to see. But let's talk about this, the $7,000 mistake. Now, what you guys are probably wondering is, well, first, let me start off by shouting out my brother 99 Newsstand, because he actually posted this over on his Instagram. And again, this is not a knock at CGC. In fact, it actually takes a good turn. It's not a negative story, but he posted a video from Mark Spector. If you guys aren't following Mark Spector comics, shout out to him. You're actually going to see him in the video I'm about to put up. But check this out, okay? You'll get a brief description of what took place here.
$7,000 mistake. The book sold for $8,000, and it's clearly not a first print. What do we see here? A little blood splat. You don't get that on a first printing or a second printing. So, we got a big mistake by CGC. They graded the book, they labeled it as a first printing.
And it's not a first printing. That's exactly what the issue is here. So, shout out to Mark Spector for posting that. Now, in his video, and of course, go give him a follow, guys, because he also puts out great content. And I just started following because of 99 Newsstand. So, it seems that CGC mislabeled this. Now, he reached out, mentioned this sold on the auction, and lo and behold, it disappeared. Now, it turns out that at first everybody thought the sale went through. Yeah, Dan Delatorre. Everybody thought the sale went through because it then vanished from the website afterwards, and we saw that it was sold at $8,000.
Yeah.
But the good news about this is that the sale was canceled. So they ended up canceling the sale, and CGC is going to properly regrade it. But just to show you guys, man, sometimes before buying stuff, buy the book, not the grade. And then we say that many times, right? Although the label might say one thing, do your homework on these books. This is prime example, because had nobody reached out and said, dude, this is not exactly a first print, like maybe the buyer might have just not known, right? They may have just bought it thinking they got themselves a first print, and then later acknowledging, like, holy shit, I just bought myself a third print. So yeah, this is again prime example of why you should buy the book, not the grade, or the label, whatever it may be. Like, just do your homework. I cannot stress it enough.
I'm sorry. Okay, listen. I completely agree. Like, as a consumer, you do have to do your due diligence, but at the same time, in this case, I'm putting the blame squarely on CGC in this case, because here's the thing. CGC has built itself as a reputable grading company. So basically, people that go on like Heritage or any of those high bidding auctions, where there's a lot of big players involved, they regard CGC's notations and their grades as gospel, right or wrong. And the thing is, especially when you have a mistake that has high stakes involved, like when you do a first print TMNT versus a third print, and we're talking thousands of dollars at risk, you would think that CGC would have a greater due diligence in making sure that kind of slip up doesn't happen. It's one thing if a pubic hair accidentally gets slipped into a case by whatever. I don't know how that happens, but it can happen. Maybe, I don't know. But when you have something like a notation that can literally cost you thousands of dollars, that would be something. It's almost like, let's say, if CGC was grading Hulk 181s, and then they found out that one doesn't have a Marvel value stamp after the fact. These are things that you should be looking at first and foremost before looking at the condition of the books. So to think that this kind of slip up went under the radar, that's very concerning. Whether they did it right or whether they made whether they righted the wrongs afterwards, great. But it shouldn't have occurred in the first place, because this is not one of those things that anyone could have just missed. Dude, you're positioned as a legit grading company. These are things. It's almost like when a pilot goes, gross example, but when a pilot goes flying in an airplane, you can't really expect him to have an off night for certain situations, because the lives are at stake. That's not something that you want. I kind of missed by a few coordinates, a few degrees, and the shit happened. CGC has to be on their ball when it comes to these kinds of high stake, situations. So
Yeah.
it's a big knock on CGC when a mistake like this is caught.
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, I'm going to get to this, but just to add to what you're saying, for me, it's look, devil's advocate. Maybe the book, the grader checked out the book. Maybe he had a stack of TMNTs, right? And he was going through them. I don't know. But from, let's say, the grading process to the casing process, maybe he got mixed up. I don't know. Whatever it may be. Do I think it's excusable? No, I don't. In fact, one of the questions that passed through my head is just within this year. Okay, we're the month of May. We're now entering month 5 of 2024. How many big mistakes have we seen come out of CGC? The biggest scandal took place this year.
Mhm.
At what point does the company kind of lose, credibility? Right? In my eyes. And again, I hate that I'm talking negative so much about CGC this year because it's not at all my goal. I don't like spreading negativity one bit. But again, it sucks to see that this happens. And kind of what Derek is saying, if we all have to be experts in grading and differences in later prints and recognizing restoration and stuff, then what's even the point of a third party certification? It's yeah, it's that, man. Like I'm the average Joe. I like comics and I enjoy this shit, but like I can spot this, you can spot this. You're a huge TMNT fan, but the average person might miss it. You know what I mean? Somebody who's maybe newer to the hobby, or maybe, dude, even people like us might not even acknowledge, right? Because we're so caught up into the, oh shit, I want to bid, I want to win this. This is the first print, and then maybe later come across that and be like, wait a minute, this looks off, right? I just think that it's been a rough year for CGC. Easy, I think it goes without saying, but big mistakes, man, big mistakes that just keep happening, and it's just it's strange. It's strange, and I also agree with AOA here saying,
Well,
reading millions of comics, there will be some mistakes on
well,
the average.
here's the thing about the argument about having grading of the millions of comics. Sure, but here's the thing though. There's different. We're all aware there's different tiers of comics that come through CGC. I'm just saying, when you have a first print TMNT, which I don't think is in abundance, as like let's say an ASM 300,
Yeah,
you would think that those, at least those kind of books in that kind of echelon, would have a bit more care taken in terms of checking some of the rudimentary stuff, whether it's the first or the third print. That's like basic stuff that CGCs should be checking. It's not an oversight. Like an oversight would be something like the third page was a fold that basically disqualified it from a 9.8. Okay, fine. I can kind of get behind that. But something as rudimentary as a first and a third
yeah,
print, that is something that should be 101 grading
yeah.
for those high-end books. It's just that, like, yeah, that's just my take. It's the whole basis of having a lot of books come through CGC. I get that, but it's just that they need to also prioritize on those books that have higher stakes to them.
Yeah, but again, shout out to them for righting this wrong. They're canceling the sale. The auction house canceled the sale. CGC is gonna just fix it. I hope at no cost, because that would be stupid if they.
Listen, for their PR sake, it better not be for no cost, because they're already under fire just for this mistake. They got to do everything in their power to make this right, because
Yeah.
Okay, and here's the thing, about the whole buyers need to be, do their due diligence, right? You also got to understand something. When you're buying from like an auction house that has a reputation of, like, say, authenticity and certification,
Mhm.
yeah, you can. There's only so much research you can also do on your part as well. Like, put it this way, like, if that Hulk, like, let's say I bought a Hulk 181, right, missing
Yeah.
a value stamp, I wouldn't know it until I cracked the case open.
Yeah.
So there's only so much that the buyer can do on their end to be well informed. Like in this case, I understand that it's on the cover, the first and third print, but still, it's
Cliff's
y-
not wrong. He's not
I
wrong.
just think in this case you can't put too much of the onus on the consumer, because it's also a very subtle change that not everyone might not pick up on, but the
Yeah.
grading company should have.
Lefteros, I agree. The most interesting part about this is that someone at some point knew about this mistake prior to it hitting auction. I'm also surprised. Well, I'm not entirely surprised that the auction house didn't catch this. Um,
That's
but
yeah,
yeah,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
but yeah, man. Again, it took somebody, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Mark Spector himself, who because in the video he reached out to CGC, he
Mhm.
DM'd them, and to say, hey, like, or it was the auction house, sorry, to say like, hey, this is off, dude, like this isn't a valid sale technically.
Yeah.
So yeah, just another day, another week, another CGC story. Again, I like I said, I hate talking negative. It's not my goal at all. In
I
fact,
do too, but look, so you gotta call a spade a spade. In
yeah, yeah.
this case, it was a total fuck up on CGC's part. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Again, I'm just gonna props them for taking care of this. I think they just need to be better in whatever channel they're doing in the grading process, like maybe receiving, the grading, the handling, and getting it to the casing and
Mm.
slabbing and all that. I don't know how these mistakes happen. I think it was an honest mistake. To be honest, let's just hope that was the case. Maybe the person printing the label didn't acknowledge. I have no idea what goes into it, but it's a big one. It's a big one. Happy that it has a positive outcome, though. So at least there's that. Now, let's end it on a high note because we could live like the X-Men in Airbnb's new X Mansion. I don't know if you saw this. Literally every fucking influencer on the internet has already been there. For some reason, news broke. I opened Instagram. You got these girls dressed as Rogue. You got these girls touring the thing, whatever it is. Yeah. So this is in Westchester, New York. It is neat, dude. Look, the Sentinel head.
Yeah,
That's
that's dope.
so cool, so cool. And of course, the interior, the inside, very X-Men '97. I love it. It's just so awesome, man. Look at that. Tell me you're not gonna go in there and try and put on Wolverine's costume. I know you will.
Yeah, it'll probably be the pant leg might be drooping to my. Actually, no. If it's the cards, I don't know. Yeah, dude, I just like that the color palettes are using exactly like you said, the X-Men '97. It's a very animated style look. So yeah, this is already giving me those nostalgic feels just looking at these pictures.
Right? It's so cool, dude. I love this. Yeah, giant mutant killing robot head brings peace. But yeah, man, I think it's cool. Like I said, for some reason, all the influencers,
So hold on. This is more of like as a museum or like when you say Airbnb, can you actually chill inside?
I'm not too sure if you could actually rent this place, man. I if you could, I'd only imagine how much this goes for. I think we would all have to get together to rent ourselves like a 10 square feet.
Yeah, we need to
You
do
know
like
what I mean?
a GoFundMe or something. 'Cause yeah, wow.
Yeah, but I definitely do want to check it out. Like I said, all the influencers have been there. Obviously, not us, but
Yeah.
we ain't influencers. But yeah, man, I definitely want to check this out. It looks cool. Dude, to see it in the X-Men '97 style is just really cool. Well, X-Men '97. I say '97, but animated in
I just
general.
like Easter eggs, like these kind of things. Like, I'd probably be lost just looking, like I'd lose time just looking at some of the stuff, like the nooks and crannies, just to see some of the subtle things. Because like even in that cupboard, I'm sure you're gonna find some Easter eggs that's in the show that's
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh
What?
shit,
$97 a night is dirt cheap, but
dude,
Cliff,
that's cheaper than Airbnbs in this city.
yeah, Cliff saying that there are 4 bedrooms, and yes, he's right because I did see there was I think there was Jubilee's room. There was like a few other ones. I did see those, but I didn't know you could stay there, so that's pretty cool.
97, dude, $97 is like if you live if you live in one of the big cities and you do Airbnb, $97 is not that bad for a night.
Yeah, it's not. So is this going to be one of our stops on the way to Terrificon this year? Is that what we're doing?
I think I might have to take an extra day off or two from work to make this happen.
Yeah, fun times. But guys, that was the show. Hyper appreciate you swinging by. We rocked it for 2 hours, man. And to everybody here in the chat hanging out for 2 hours, it felt good to be back. Felt good to have you back. I said it before at the beginning of the show, guys. Europe, first time ever there. Slovakia was, dude. I went for a work trip. We work hard, but we party hard, just as hard. And I got to tell you, I'm proud of all my colleagues. I'm proud of everybody who held their own. I think I got 10 hours sleep in the whole week, like combined. It was just
Yeah,
I
that's
was
insane.
very disappointed with the comic book stores. I will say that. I went there thinking I'm gonna find Panini exclusives. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit up Europe and get some comics. Nope.
So wait.
Trade paperbacks and Funkos at triple the price is all I came across.
I was gonna ask, like, before you wrap up, I was because we never had this conversation. But so, did you pick up any comics at the shops?
No, I didn't pick up any comics, but one thing I did get to visit, guys, THQ headquarters in Vienna, in Austria.
Oh, the video game company.
Yeah, dude, the video game company
Oh,
actually
okay.
had exclusive video games in house, meaning these were limited prints of covers. So, example, the
Oh,
latest
wow.
South Park game, right, that just came out. There was a, let's say, not 1 in 3,000, but they were numbered. Example, you could have 5 of 3,000 or 8 of 3,000. So they
That's
only
cool.
had those in house at the headquarters. So I got to explore that. Really nice.
Nice.
But yeah, comic wise, it was horrible, dude. I hit up some, the shops, and I'm like, man, it's only trade paperbacks. They had a small box of like Simpsons comics and then some random comics that nobody cared about. And I was like, wow. And they put tape on the books, bro. They put tapes with
Yo,
$2 on
Arnold's not gonna be happy that you're trashing his country's comic shops.
them. I will tell you one thing, though. Oh
Well,
shit, this guy's knocked over everything. Well, I will tell you one thing. In Austria, like Slovakia is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Slovakia was awesome, but Austria, my God, the variety, the diversity. It's just another world, man. I loved it. It was awesome time, but I'm happy to be back, guys. And like I said, few things like I toured the world. Well, not the world. I toured 2 countries, and I was away for 2 weeks, but I'm back doing a different kind of tour. Right, this week I'll be busy. I'm going on Izzyverse tomorrow, so come check out the show 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, where we're gonna go over the trending 20 of Key Collector over on his channel, and then on Thursday I'm gonna be hanging out with 22 Comics over on his show. So at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, we're going live and we're going to talk a lot of what, I'm collecting, how I collect, why I collect the way I do. Am I a cover buyer collector? Am I a key collector? What kind of collector am I? So come
I'm
in.
gonna tune in just because even though I've known you for several years, I still don't even know how you collect still. So
I've been collecting for several years. I
yeah.
still don't know how I collect, but we'll find out on Thursday night. And of course, next Sunday, my brother, ready to sell us a life insurance. Nemesis Prime.
Yeah,
Going
after this episode, find out if BC gets that home renovation that Nemesis promised him.
Yep, exactly, man. A whole week of BC. Exactly, man. I'm happy to be back. Cliff, hopefully we can hang out sometime soon. Anytime you want me back on your channel, I'm more than happy to come hang out. Yeah, welcome back, BC. Hyper, of course, you killed it. And yes, Comic Kingpins go live tomorrow as well, so definitely go show some love to the boys. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, we need to see your lunch break
My
pickups
lunch
on the
break.
next Show Me Your Hauls. So that would be awesome. You know what, man? If time permits, guys, I will happily hop on to Show Me Your Hauls. I've been picking up some books that I've not shown off, so maybe that can happen.
Maybe we
But
should
yeah,
do like a duo invasion.
that would be fun, man. So let's hit up the boys. But Hyper, again, thank you. You're up to some stuff. What's going on with you? Talk to me.
Well, one of the stuff involves you, but again,
Yeah,
we're not gonna divulge until it's been complete
yeah.
and in the can. But there is something in the works with myself and BC. It's just that timing wise, we just gotta get back to it. Like BC mentioned, he's been on vacation, so now that he's back in town, we're hoping to kind of iron out the details and hopefully have what it is planned and ready to go. And other than that, you're gonna see me post some stuff on IG like I normally do. The YouTube's front, that is something I gotta get off my lazy ass and actually get back into, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we're gonna get that page running again. Don't
Yeah.
worry, especially with the video we're gonna be doing. But guys, thank you so much. That was the show. Like I said, you saw pretty much where you could see me all week. So come and hang out, show some love, support those channels, subscribe, and to everybody who caught the show tonight or catching the replay, nothing but love. Appreciate you guys. Comment below. Let us know what you thought about the show, whatever topics it is that we covered or books we covered. Let me know. Let myself and Hyper know what you guys thought of, all of that fun stuff we spoke about tonight. Hyper, do you want to sign us out?
I do.
Do it.
All right. It's been a while since I said this, but listen, guys, if you're too broke to buy comics, visit your local library.
There you go. Straight to the point. I appreciate that. Yo,
Thank you.
adios, guys. Love you.